Hello and welcome to the Friday Night Social with me and Mike Dix and Rachel. How are you doing, Rachel? Are you all right?
Oh, I'm still here. Yeah. I was sitting there watching the telly, and then I saw the thing come on. I thought, well, I'll come on for an hour.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Well,
Yay.
good,
We're honoured.
good to have you on. I just want to say a big shout out to the chat. We got Sarah in the chat. We got Scott. We've got someone called Mike Dix. I don't know who that is. We've got Martin Harrow. We've got Gaynor. We've got Vendetta. We've got One Angry Pagan. We've got Diz in there as well. Richard Grumpy. Get hello, everyone. Tracy as well. Hello, hello, hello. If you'd like to join our wonderful friends in our wonderful chat, all you need to do is hit the big juicy subscribe button that is appearing under Rachel right now, and we will allow you for a little while to join the chat. Just don't be a troll, or we'll mute you and boot you. So, first of all,
What if a big fat nonce joins the chat?
a big fat nonce wants to enter the chat, then we'll say, "Go away, Mr. Trump. You're a big fat nonce." But we've got some fantastic news this week, Mike.
Really?
Yes.
Was it the number of super chats that you got this week? Was that
No.
There's a new country for you to visit.
There is going to be a new country, but that's a while off. Come on, there's something more important than that.
Oh, I cured cancer.
Yay! Mike 1, cancer 0.
Hey.
I got. I could disturb you all. You won't see much on this, but basically, this piece of paper tells me there's no cancer in my arse.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's somewhere you don't want cancer. Actually, you don't want cancer
No,
anyway.
best place not to have it.
Yeah.
It's definitely not the most pleasant place to have had it. No.
So
it's been a hell of a week. Hell of a week, really.
So what happens now? What happens next? Do you just have to go in for scans now and again and make sure it doesn't?
Yeah, so I've got a consultant meeting next week where they'll confirm that and the MRI results. And I've already spoken to my specialist, the one that did the last treatment that I did, and she's over the moon about it. So it's a good result.
Do they get really excited when it works? They're like, "Fuck yeah, it worked!" Like
we didn't think that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Did you get to ring a bell? Do you ring a bell? Do you ring a bell? Is that what happens?
I'll tell you what happens. In all honesty, is I lay there petrified because I had the most. The word dreadful means full of dread, and I was genuinely on Wednesday. Very, very anxious about what this, because it's the first time they've stuck anything up my arse that wasn't trying to cure it. It was trying to test whether we'd been successful or not. And you just don't know. It's Schrodinger's cancer. It's have I still got it or not? And it's the first time we've looked for it in 6 months. And so I was petrified of it, to be honest with you. And I wasn't allowed to have general anesthetic because I had Johnny no mates and I didn't have anybody with me. So I had to brace myself and let them do it the normal way. And then he said, "I can't see any cancer there." And I said, "Will you just say that again?" And he's, because I'm on gas and air, so I'm being quite abusive to him at this point as well. And I said, "Just fucking repeat yourself." And he said, "I cannot see any cancer here. I don't need to take a biopsy. There is no cancer here." And I just burst into tears.
Oh, wow.
Because it was just a huge amount of emotion all at that moment.
Amazing. Amazing.
It's good. It's a good result. It's a weird week, to be honest with you. I've lived with this for 6 months and it's been fucking painful and brutal. And I've had good people around me like you guys to keep me buoyant all the time through this, but it has not been at all easy. And I didn't choose the easy route. The easy route would have been surgery. And I decided not to do that. And it, in this case, and I think it's a 50-50 toss of the coin, to be honest with you, it's worked. And, that's good.
That's fantastic. Good. That is fantastic.
So as I said in the chat, we can now rip the piss out of you a lot more than we have been.
You can do all the arse jokes. You can do
we never stopped.
Mike is a pain in the arse.
We never stopped. What are you talking about?
I was holding back.
Where are you? Where are you? I wasn't.
I'll tell you the other thing though. This is a little sad. I've been feeling for the last week or two that I've got leukemia as well, which I've had for 12 years. And I kind of felt sorry for my leukemia because it's had no attention for the last 6 months. Everyone's going, "Oh, yeah, well, of course you got leukemia, but you got rid of cancer." And I'm going, "Well, but. So Yeah, you can do arse jokes, but no blood jokes today.
Hi, Scott. You just arrived just in the nick of time for the arse jokes.
Yeah.
Oh, yay!
Because I before Mike went for his scan, I sent him the Tom Cardy song. Have you checked up your butthole for your car keys? And then after I sent it, I thought, should I have sent?
No, of course you should.
But that,
You know, somebody.
It was
somebody
either that
last week,
or what up the butt.
yeah, but in our politics chat, everything you post is always, I wonder if I should have sent that. Everything I posted. Should I send that? Should I have done that?
I don't think anybody thinks that anymore in that chat.
No.
there's no such thing as too far.
Fuck it.
In
Of course I'm going to
politics
send it. Listen.
What in the butt is a classic.
What in the butt is
It's
a classic.
Classic.
Yeah, it's a pop anthem. We got some super chats in. So we got one from GHK saying Trump pushing fragrances again. It's nonsense.
Oh, happy for me.
Oh, I need my squeaky tank. Give me a squeaky tank. Tim Ballum is channeling his inner previous leader of Labour, saying, "Get a real job, Mike."
It's about time now.
Thanks to that,
Yeah,
Tim.
there's no excuses for you anymore.
The whole cancer grift has got to stop.
Yeah, right.
Oh my god, that's what you should have set up. You should have had like cancer grifter at cancer grifter. Paul, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Raise a beer to Mike's arse, matron.
Hey.
I mean, of all the cancers, it was the funniest one. I know it was probably the most painful as well, but it was
Bum
the funny
jokes.
one.
Bum jokes are the best.
Yeah.
And I've been doing cartoons about it all the way through. It's. I mean, now I've actually sent off to a couple of publishers because it's got a happy ending. Literally, basically. So,
what, did you get that as well off the nurse?
Yeah, he's a doctor. He was a nice
Oh,
bloke.
then he got
He's
that
a
off the
lovely
doctor.
bloke.
Of course it was a bloke. He's in Brighton.
He's got big rubber gloves on and everything. It was lovely.
Oh, fantastic. It's always better with a rubber glove on.
No, but arse jokes are the best way to get through this. And being honest with you, and I want to share this with anyone in the group that dropped me a note. I've had a lot of responses to the post that I put on social media about it, and a lot of people going through the same stuff, and just thanking me for the jokes about it because it helps them. So that's why I do that.
Yeah, brilliant. Tim Ballum dropped £20 in and said, "Send this to Mike, please, Graham." So I'm going to send you £20.
He won't be sending. He won't be sending
post.
that.
You won't send him anything.
You never get
I will. You can come up here.
That's Graham's cancer grift there.
Right.
This is Graham behaving like the cancer grift.
Come to Durham.
Feel sorry for Mike. Send me 20 quid.
Yeah. Come to Durham, and I'll take you on an architectural pub tour of Durham. I know you don't drink, but
I'm potentially going to Liverpool next weekend into your fatherland.
I'm not going to be there. Oh no!
Well, there you go.
So I leave, and then you turn up. Oh, typical, isn't it? Ugh, I don't know.
I've been waiting for that moment.
Yeah, waiting for Graham to leave. Leave Liverpool. Quick, in, everyone in. Phil Nelson, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. And also to Anne Phillips, who gives us fireworks and balloons and party streamers. So thank you to Anne. And thank you for everyone else for their kind messages. Gulf Marine says, Badger police alert, please arrest whoever cancelled Stephen Colbert. Well, that would be the president of the United States of America. So
that is bad news.
Nobody's going to. I mean, nobody was watching CBS except Stephen Colbert. Now nobody's going to watch CBS.
It's so I'm sorry, I don't know the story. They canceled it. They canceled the show.
Yeah, so
they cancelled the late night. The late
Yeah.
night with Stephen Colbert has been cancelled because of Trump.
Because you know,
and they're not even replacing him, Scott.
no,
they are
they're
cancelling the show.
there is going to be a show, but it's pro-Trump, and it's later on. It's September next year. It's going to be a pro-Trump show. Colbert. I mean, it's because Colbert obviously slagged off the Paramount CBS deal, and 60 Minutes on CBS had done nothing wrong, but they paid the $16 million to Trump. Yep. As a placation to make the deal go through, and you know that he's gone, well, you got to get rid of Colbert because he's horrible to me, and that's it. Colbert's out.
Bullshit.
So Seth Meyers, Jimmy Kimmel next. That's what you're thinking, but you know.
Well, Seth Meyers is the one that did the speech that kicked the whole thing off, isn't it?
It was right, and Obama did a bit as well. But I think Jimmy Kimmel's the hardest on him, and I think Jimmy's in Los Angeles, he's much more safe. But I think they reckon Jon Stewart might be next because he's in the same network, isn't he? So, but I think that Stephen Colbert and Jon Stewart getting together, doing a streaming channel. I mean, Don Lenham and all those kind
Massive.
of guys have all set up their own channels, and they're all really successful on YouTube. And
and Tucker Carlson and the whole right wing
we don't really want to
infrastructure.
But Midas Touch put out an announcement yesterday saying, you want to come work on our network, you can have your own show, you can do what you like. We can't pay you what
we did miss a trick there, Graham.
We could have had him on here.
Yeah, come and join us, Steve.
Yeah,
Friday nights,
come and have a chat with us. Rip the shit out of the headlines. I just got to acknowledge Ori. Thank you so much, Ori, who has gifted 20 Politics Social memberships, which is incredibly kind.
Very nice.
Thank you, Ori. You are the best. And I just want to show Ori this. This is my little microphone that I'm going to be taking away next week with me, and it's my little travel microphone.
Looks like
Where are you going?
Just going away. This is me big microphone. This is me little microphone.
Okay, where are you going?
It looks like one of those vibrating butt plugs.
Size doesn't matter. It's what you do with it that counts.
I've insisted that he has a holiday.
Yeah.
And that he gets away from all of it, basically.
On holiday.
I usually do, but Mike has kindly offered to take over from me and draw pictures like Rolf Harris, but not be a massive nonce.
Exactly like Rolf Harris. That's what I'm going to do.
Unlike Rolf Harris.
Can you tell what it is? Yeah, it's a big knob.
So, there's going to be some episodes of Drawn Together, which is Mike's show, where he's going to be drawing a cartoon. You're going to be able to watch his cartoon creation taking place.
Danny Baker used to do a show like that, kind of.
Yeah.
Danny Baker. I didn't know he could draw.
He used to do a sketchy show before he became an arsehole, didn't he? But right back in the day.
I thought he was always an arsehole.
Do you remember, Rachel, I'm not going to accuse you of being my age, but do you remember Bill Tidy used to come on and do,
Yep.
There was a whole satirical period.
It's okay, you can say it.
There was that whole satirical period where cartoonists were allowed on TV.
Yeah.
Basically.
Can you guess what it is yet?
It doesn't really happen now.
Oh dear. I think I can. Please.
Anyway, I'm gonna have a break for like a week from this because we realized it was when I was talking to Mike this afternoon. I realized that I've been making videos. I've not had a break of more than 2 days of making videos for 5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
That is insane.
I know, it is quite insane. That includes like traveling to like the island and traveling to Canada and Denmark, and it's a lot. So Ori's bought Politics Social gift memberships for 20 people, who include GHK, Stevie H, David, Nature's Admirer, Joshua Pettinger, Stephen Wallace, Tim That, Reed Error. I like that. It's Reed like REED. Error. That's good, that. Jack Lyons. We've got Plum Duff. Hey, Plum Duff. Plum Duff, I thought you were already a member. We've got Matt Parker. We've got Alex French. I thought Alex French was already a member. We've got Chris G. FLP Have a Beer. Amy and Ozzy. We've got Bruno Genius. The Chaos Druid. Dynamo Hum and Lewis Milton, as well as Mike Richards. I think that's everyone. So thank you so much, Ori. You are an absolute legend. Thank you so much for that.
Mike Richards has got to be the long version of my name, hasn't it, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I see what you've done there. Yeah, but it'd be Michael Richards.
That's true.
Yes. Michelangelo Richards. That's what it's short for. But yeah, so we get Colbert, we get what's his name, Jon Stewart.
That is so blatant.
We get John Oliver.
I don't get it. I don't get how it's so blatant.
Yes,
like he made fun of me, fire him.
Yeah, but he's always been thin-skinned, hasn't he?
Yeah, but I'm just really surprised that America's just gone.
Trevor Noah.
That makes total sense.
Trevor Noah.
I mean, look, he goes after what's her name, and who's gone off to Ireland. I mean, he's been spatting at what's her name? Who's gone off to Ireland?
Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell.
He wants
I
to
mean,
take
that's
away
been
your
going on
citizenship.
years. He's so thin-skinned.
Oh no, no,
it's a
no,
grudge.
no. I know that part.
Yeah.
It's the authoritarianism of it. Take my critic
It
off
is.
the air.
Yeah, it is textbook. It's what Putin did. It's what Bolsonaro did. It's you get control of the lawyers, control of the courts, control of the media, and you've got everything under control.
I mean, the Starmer's doing it. The BBC have taken Mock the Week off. They've taken off a lot of the. They've taken a lot of the news.
Tories.
They're taking a lot of the but they're all the satirical stuff's disappearing. Even listen to Dead Ringers. It's all a bit right wingy. And
The BBC's
and
been
the news quiz. They always have a right winger on there now.
in a way, though.
Doing a pronoun joke.
The BBC is always 3 or 4 years behind politics, though, because
Yeah.
it's the Tory appointments that have made it what it is now.
Every the Charity Commission, the Equality Human Rights Commission, Ofcom, Ofwat, they're all bloody Tories, and they're all doing nasty stuff still.
Except
they're all being kept.
Majority, and we could do something about it.
Didn't they announce they're shutting down Ofwat today?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Because it's chocolate teapot, isn't it? It's just
Fucking
like,
useless.
no reservoirs of 20 years, and we've all got hosepipe bans. Brilliant.
I love all the no reservoirs policy that they brought in. I think they closed about 5 down, didn't they? In the last sort of 30
We need to flood a few villages, but tell the people first. But let's flood a few villages and a few bell towers.
Lincolnshire, do you have to tell them? Is that a rule? I don't know. We had our first all council meeting this week here in Durham with the bloody fuckers. And what
Did
they
you
did.
I watched it.
No,
I
I watched it. I watched it on YouTube.
So depressing.
And
Darren Grimes is like, it's only common sense that we all die of no water and heat, because I'm making a fuckload of money. And, Romans had grapes. Oh, it's common sense. Oh, fuck off.
So
I was so depressed after watching that.
You have to say, right, this will be controversial, but out of all of those councillors that spoke, Grimes has got charisma.
He has, he's good.
I don't mean in a good way. I just mean
we have to stop normalizing good good charisma from a bad person. I mean,
exactly.
That's how Trump is president.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we go, oh, well, he's very charismatic. Like, he knows how to talk to people. No, he's a weirdo. He's always been a fucking weirdo. Darren Grimes is a fucking weirdo. We need to call these people what they fucking are. They're weirdos.
One of the definitions of a psychopath is charisma, basically.
Yeah, Hitler was nice to his mum, But
very nice.
The Cray twins were nice to their mum.
Yeah.
I think
they were cool though, Scott.
Fuck off.
Watching that,
they were cool murderers.
Yeah, they were great. They were great murderers that went around and beat people up if they didn't pay up.
Just watching that
guys.
meeting was the most
Wonderful.
depressing thing I saw this week, and I'm subject to Section 28 in schools. No, I thought that was watching that meeting in the council meeting was just ugh.
So what they did was they brought in one motion, and it was to stop the climate,
Stop the emergency.
Stop the emergency, to stop calling it a climate emergency.
Oh my God!
And they put it
petty
in.
and stupid.
They put it in.
Scott, I was going to say that Graham's going to define what the motion they put, which was ridiculous.
Please, sorry.
They said we couldn't have 2 emergencies at once, so they were going to rescind the climate emergency and replace it with the special educational needs and disabilities emergency.
The care emergency.
There's an emergency for disability? What?
Yeah, there is. But
what's that?
They decided to make it a false dichotomy and say you can only have one or the other. You can either care for disabled people or you can care about the environment. You can't have both. It's like that bit in Spider-Man where he's forced to make a choice between saving his girlfriend or saving the people on the bus. It's like, whoa! And I'm like, you fucking gang of, see you next Tuesdays.
I missed the outcome.
Care about 2 things at the same time.
Yeah, they did actually.
Motion passed.
Yeah, did it pass?
Yeah.
It passed like 61. 61 to 20 something. But
there were some good Lib Dem and Labour and Tory councillors that stood up against it.
Yeah, they're all working together now. They're all working together. The Tories are working with the Greens and working with the Labour. I'm in a group, and it's a cross-party group, and it's just that we hate the fuck.
And it includes Tories.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. I mean, that's a big move. Because I remember after Brexit, I joined a rejoin or whatever committee, and they wouldn't allow any Tories on it. And I said, well, good luck getting anything fucking done then.
Yeah,
basically. Because
no, but
if you don't persuade some Tories to change their mind, you're not going to get anywhere.
It was really interesting talking to Stella Creasy the other week. You know, she did an episode on Tan's channel, and afterwards, me, her, and Tan had a long chat for like an hour after the show. And she was just talking about like how things work in Parliament and how like you got to work with them. You've got to work with the Tories. You've got to sit down in committee rooms and stuff and work through policy. And they'll bring something that's to the government that's happening in their constituency that they want some help with. And they kind of work together. I know there's a lot of Punch and Judy for the cameras, on question PMQs or whatever. But generally speaking, it's quite cordial. But the fuckers aren't like that. They don't want to work with anyone else. That it's just their way or the highway, and they're going to do everything in their power to make life shit for anyone who's not a massive supporter of refuck, which is exactly what Trump does in America. He makes life shit. Yeah. If you are not a Trump supporter, your life goes shit, and if you are a Trump supporter, your life's not going to get any better. But at least you get to laugh at the people who don't vote for Trump.
The libs
getting upset. Yes, get to own the libs. I got a couple of super chats come in. Tim says Grimes has crafty wank power, doesn't he? Yes, he is famous for his crafty wanking, and that's what he's known as in all these groups. That's what he's. No one uses the word Grimes; they just call him crafty wank, and everyone knows who they're talking about. Paula, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. If Mike's leukemia is chronic lymphocytic, my dad was diagnosed with that in the 1990s, and he's still alive at 104.
It's the thing that the subject of this video, the big fat nonce, the illness that's been revealed that he's got today, is it?
Syphilis.
But it's a chronic condition.
This thing that he has, right? Yeah. Like that makes him all bruisey and shit. He's gonna look like fucking Mitch McConnell when he was all fucked up and shit, looking like something out of RoboCop.
But it's a chronic condition, and the word chronic means that you effectively have it forever. It doesn't kill you. Yeah, it's just something you have forever. So my leukemia is chronic, basically. So it's nowhere near as good as a proper tumor. You're right.
he looked like the guy from he looked like one of the lizards from V.
Yeah, that's why he's gone to Sephora and he's done a bit of mixing on his hand there. And
the Trump. Yeah. Well, I mean, the counter girl wasn't very good in matching his skin tone. I mean, it was quite obvious.
It was very off.
And you would think that they're supposed to be the professionals. But no, it was pretty obvious that someone
and there's pictures of his ankles. He's got round legs all the way to the top, and he's not well. He can't pump the blood up to his heart from his legs.
Oh, has he got them fat legs?
He's got the straight round legs, the tubular legs.
Oh, I've seen as a guy around here looked at. Yeah. Okay.
So it's not good.
I didn't know that.
Though, there was some good news about. Did you see the Wall Street Journal article in a Murdoch newspaper today? That Trump had sent him a birthday card on his 50th saying, happy 50th. May there be many more small secrets, which was like, after all the stuff about him had come out. And Trump had said, I'm going to sue you now. I'm going to sue you, Murdoch. I'm going to sue But interestingly, that's not the interesting story. The story was Vance. He'd said nothing. And then he said, Vance on the side went, prove it to the Wall Street Journal. It's like, are you making your play? Because the Wall Street Journal will go, all right, here's the card.
Vance has been quiet, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's waiting to make he's made his move. It's all been over the sort of the left wing press. And I was watching the Lincoln Project did a little podcast about it today. When Vance has been quiet all the way through this, and then he's just said, prove it, because Trump hasn't said prove it to the Wall Street Journal because he doesn't want them to prove it. But Vance has gone, show us the evidence, and they think that's his play.
I'm sorry, are we talking about Epstein now?
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's talking about this is going to be the fall of Trump. I don't see it.
No, neither does Brett.
No.
I don't see it. I think he's going to ride it out like everything else.
The Wall Street Journal stuff has actually made his MAGA base come back behind him because they're like, that's not true.
It's a Murdoch newspaper. What?
I know.
It's gonna. I tell you what's
No, but
interesting
doesn't
though is
matter,
it.
'cause as long as he
What
says
it does
right.
is it forces Trump out into the open to play the game he's constantly playing, which is to tell a lie, double down on it, keep going, keep going, keep going. And it's just so obvious because he's telling that lie to the MAGA guys. And they're seeing through that. And it's going to be really interesting to see how they flip. Because they, some of them some of the right wing pundits have tried, haven't they, to go, oh,
there
come
is a
on,
war going on still.
let's
Elon-
trust.
I just want to say a big shout out to Super Tansky. Thank you so much for the super chat, Tan. For Mike's news, celebrations, and apologies. I'm too sad to join. Oh, Tan.
Oh, Tan.
Why
I'm
did you
sorry.
I'm
die?
only here because he said that you were going to be here. I'm not here for the others.
Me too,
Dick
Rachel.
fest.
Everyone's
You know.
everyone's
Me too.
only here because I lied to everyone and said, yeah, Tan will be
You
there.
said Tan
Yeah.
would be here. She's not.
Yeah, I
here.
know.
That's
I
not
know.
fair.
It should just be me on my own. This really should.
Why is she sad?
Because she's had a lot
She's-
on. She's had a lot,
Oh.
and people have been really fucking horrible. And,
Yeah, they have. Yes,
you know,
yes,
like
I've seen these things.
it's not easy. I mean, the shit that we get online. I mean, obviously, Rachel, you're
I
not
don't
really
get any.
online.
Yeah, I've been
are
in the
you?
I've been in the Telegraph and the Daily Mail and
Yeah.
the Times and GB News and BBC.
You know what
And,
it's
you
like.
know, I've been on it.
Yeah. You know what it's
They love
like,
me.
and it's just.
Yeah.
I don't know. But please, anyone watching this, right? If someone writes something mean about you on the internet, right, or someone that you know or someone that you watch, don't clip it and send it to them, please.
Yeah, don't send the
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
That somebody's done about you. They made a video about you. Look at this.
Look at this. I'm like, no, I don't want to see that. I don't want to read that. That's put me in a bad mood for the rest of the day now. So like, yeah. But yeah, Tan, we love you and hope you're feeling better soon and you can come on the show with Mike next week because Tan has offered to do a few shows as well with Mike. So
Excellent.
which you're going to talk
How
about.
long are
afterwards.
you going away for?
I'll probably be off the channel for a week.
Where are you going?
Oh, it's just a week.
Oh, just around the corner. Just
We can't say.
Oh,
He is being
Mystery.
secretive.
secretive. Yes.
it's a myth away.
You know where he's
It's
going, guys? He's coming here.
It's Guantanamo, isn't it?
I'm just going to spend a week
My
I'm gonna
zebra,
with my face pressed down against Scott's pillow.
face in the pillow.
Yeah, face in the pillow, with bum in the air. Yeah,
over there,
yeah.
and
Hope your mum's not watching this.
I might get.
She's
behind
watching.
him. I might get behind him on this one.
This
Oh,
has
Scott.
turned into a disturbing kidnap video.
I have no idea where he's going, guys. Honestly.
We'll be on the
That's
news.
so
I didn't know Scott
funny,
Williams was
Mike.
right.
If you're doing, if Mike's hosting the Friday Night Social next week, and Scott
And you're
comes
on
on,
the
and
bed
I'm
tied
just
up.
tied to the bed, going,
Yeah, don't be surprised. Graham's here. He's
Graham
a bit
can't be here
indisposed.
tonight. Oh, there he is.
He has a ball gag in his mouth. He can't speak. And,
Oh,
no, there'd be nothing like that. I take it you're going away with your missus, right?
Perhaps. A New York man has been left with horrific injuries after being allowed into a room with an MRI machine while wearing a long chain necklace, says Chris C.
Wow.
Oh, that's straight out of Final Destination Bloodlines. Oh, has anyone seen that?
I spent.
Oh, and Die Another Day with Piers Brosnan switching on the MRI. All the
I'm doing this because there's a guy who's got lots of tattoos and piercings, and he walks into a room with an MRI.
You wouldn't be allowed in there, no.
I have loads of piercings, and I was in an MRI machine.
Pardon?
I have loads of piercings. I was in an MRI
With
machine.
the piercings in,
Yeah.
and they didn't fly out.
Wow.
I've got a load of metal plates in my jaw and it doesn't set off airport. It doesn't.
Yeah, they didn't make me take it out.
Are they magnetic? Not magnetic? Or
No, they're stainless
They're
steel.
not special metal. Doesn't set it off.
okay, fair enough. Well, in this,
When I had facial surgery, and I remember
But the tattoos, they really fuck it
and I-
up. Don't
and I
they?
said-
No, I'm joking.
and the guy said, "I'm going to be putting plates in your face," and I said, "Fine," and you know. And then he looked at me, and there was a pause, and I went, "Oh, am I going to set off metal detectors?" And he went, "Thank you." I said, "What do you mean?" Everybody asked me that question, and they always have for the last 20 years. And I was getting worried you weren't going to ask me it. And I went, "Oh yeah, well there you go." Are they? No, thank you. It was-
Yeah, people used to think that like when I had a certain piercing that it would set off alarms in airports, and no, it doesn't.
I'm sorry, Mr. Williams. We're
Yeah,
going
but
to
it does. But Scott, It does if you walk around the airport without your trousers on.
Yeah.
That's going to alarm a lot of people.
Oh my god! I told you not to tell anyone about that.
Tim Ballons dropped a super chat in. Take care. Time for the Bin podcast. What? Maybe later. What else was going to read out? Grindr always crashes when the GOP comes to town.
He certainly does.
Gruesome old pedophiles.
True,
That's what
and
GOP
true.
stands for.
Mind you, there are no I'm sure
they
there
just
are
voted.
probably some pedophiles on Grindr, but
Well,
I don't know about them.
Well, the GOP voted not to release the Epstein files, right? So,
Yes.
Insane, and they did it at like 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
I mean,
Rachel,
could
do
they
you-
make it look any sketchier? I
But
mean,
the-
do they not see the optics? Do they?
They
or
do, and
just
they don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care.
No, they're protecting kids from LGBT people, but no, let's not protect them from pedophiles.
Well,
Rachel,
no,
are you a bit
give their
more-
kids to preachers every week? What?
I lean slightly on the side that I think this could actually bring Trump down, because I think this is going to run and run, and I
It's
don't
gonna
think he's
run and
gonna be
run,
able to
but-
get away with it.
It is
just
going to
think
run
he'll
around. I
slide
mean,
through it. It's just
it's
slippery
people are
snake.
just going to keep doing it, going to keep putting the stuff out, and it's been going for weeks on.
I
all
mean, the
social media.
flight logs were released years ago, and they've got his name in them. I mean,
I think it's-
Maybe
what
it's just-
more do people
maybe I'm-
need?
Maybe
They
I'm just having a
ignore it.
really optimistic week, Scott. Right? Because I
Yeah.
cured cancer this week
Yes,
for everybody.
you,
You're welcome.
You annihilated
But-
him.
So what I'm thinking is this just runs and runs, and eventually you got to look at we got Greg Wallace this week, so
Yeah.
we could get Trump in the next few.
I think if either way, he's under stress, he's worried, and he's not well, so it's going to speed up a good result,
Yeah.
in my view.
It's like the Greg Wallace thing and the Russell Brand thing. What happens is as stuff comes out, and Murdoch's got a beef with Trump because of I know Graham will say it's about the insurance, but he's got a beef about what happened to Fox.
Yeah.
Tucker Carlson's got a beef with
What
him.
happened to Fox?
There's
Am I out of the loop
over
still? What?
the voting machine stuff that cost him
Yeah.
billions.
And
cost
Elon,
Murdoch billions.
Elon keeps putting it out, doesn't he?
Elon's got a
Where's
beef with
phase
him.
2? He tweeted out a couple of days ago,
Ooh,
which is
Elon
after
is
the
a bitter
folders.
bitch. He is
And
not happy.
Vance has got a plan, and Elon is on Vance's side. The money is on Vance's side in this.
Peter
situation.
Thiel.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
I
feel
don't
like
think it'll be
way
the story
screen is
itself.
split, I am next to Graham. The top half believe that he's going to get through it. The bottom half believe he's going to.
Yeah, we're the optimists. Me and Rachel are the
Yeah, we're
optimists.
going to be optimistic. Yeah,
we think we
were
can
right
get it.
about
I don't know.
Trump,
I
but when
tried
he-
that. I
the-
tried that look. And I
our screens are arranged differently, so I'm on top of you, Scott, whereas Mike is
Scott.
on top of Rachel.
Oh my
Just the way
God.
Scott would like it.
But
I'm gonna get us so bad.
I think that he'll. I mean, he's weathered my as you know, my sort of take on this is he's weathered the storm of mounting an insurrection against the American democracy, the
That's
home of American democracy.
But they rioted because they believed the election was because they believed him. He got elected on releasing Epstein files.
Partly,
And they
yeah.
believed he would, and he's not. That's slightly different. That's where I'm coming from. His
Yeah, I think
whole
that's true.
campaign was on conspiracies. He had to get all the QAnons out and all the nutters, the flat earthers, all that lot out to get him. He had to scrape the barrel to get them to vote for him. And those guys are all into Epstein files because they all think there's a lot of Democrats in there. And
I mean, half his cabinet were making podcasts talking about the Epstein files.
Yeah.
The director of the FBI,
it's on my desk.
yeah, there are people out there. There are people in his team that are grinding their teeth at the moment
Yeah.
about this one.
Yeah, the cabinet have been very quiet now. They're not saying anything, and I think Elon's banging away at it. The Vance is making his play. The Wall Street Journal's done its thing. Every left to middle right wing podcasters talking about it. And
No, I
the ones
just think
that
it's
say,
another
ones like
storm.
Charlie Kirk, who says, I'm done with this, I'm over this. Charlie Kirk's been banging on about the Epstein files for 5 years or so. And he's gone, I'm over with it. And he's now getting a load of abuse from his.
Yeah, well, he had to roll that back, didn't he? Because the reason he went along with the Trump, I mean, he's kind of embedded in the government, isn't he? In terms of a lot of the people in the cabinet.
Turning point and all that laugh.
Yeah, a part of
Yeah.
Turning Point. And it was a Turning Point conference that weekend when he said, okay, we're over this. And then everybody at Turning Point
did
was
he
just...
did he do the whole? Okay, guys, we're gonna move on now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
he
my
literally
God,
he literally
it's
did
so
a broadcast where
obvious.
What he said, Scott, was we're going to move on now. We're going to move on for now. He did choose his words carefully.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on for now because I'm going to trust the people in government that they're going to do this properly. Basically, you think what conspiracy theorist ever has said the words "I'm going to trust the
I'm
government"?
going to trust the government. What the fuck?
But that Fox host at Turning Point America, she stood up from Fox and she sort of stood up and said, "How many of you happy with what's happened on Epstein?"
Yeah.
And the audience was quiet. And she said, "Clap if you're not, if you're unhappy." And the whole audience were clapped. And that was Turning Point. Now the ultra right, and they are not happy. That's his voters. That's his group. That's his club, his society, and they're not happy with it.
I mean, how are they? I mean, I know they're all stupid, but how are they not so? How are they so stupid to not understand that he was there? He was part of it.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't get it.
Look at the way
How
Trump's
many
been about.
photos and videos does he need to be in with one person? Do you know what I mean?
Just before we go on, sorry, Mike, I'll come back to you in a moment, but just GHK dropped a £2 super chat in. Is Trump ill? Lots of foundation on one hand. Thanks for the super chat. Yeah, we talked about this. He's got a vein thrombosis fucking
He
thing.
can't pump his blood up from his legs.
Yeah, chronic vein thing that is manageable, but it makes his legs very, very fat.
Did you? I don't. I post lots of stuff. You lot in the chat don't read, but I posted you the. We tried to buy Epstein's house in the desert.
Oh, I didn't.
Did you watch that? You should have watched it. It was brilliant. It was two guys. He had another property and he bought it, and it was between loads of jurisdictions that had no jurisdiction, so he didn't have to register as an offender in any of the jurisdictions because this bit in the desert where this house was didn't come under any of the jurisdictions. So he bought this house and it's full of cameras and it had loads of people who worked there. It was all wired and there was only 4 bedrooms. It was a giant house because they didn't have bedrooms because it was all the parties and stuff that would go on there. And there were boxes and boxes of red tape VHS cassettes that were there were cameras and pinhole cameras, and it was all just set up to record everything. So it was it felt like a sort of blackmailing sort of unit in the middle of the desert.
What did you do with the tapes?
Yeah, well, I don't know what happened to the tapes. They were still, in the house. The cassettes were they were covered with police tapes. So this was obviously evidence from a previous prosecution and it sounded like this was his copies of all the evidence that were in this house. But that's what was in this house in the middle of the desert that was empty. You just wonder. What they found in all the other houses.
The Epstein thing's a double. It's a double whammy, isn't it? Because he's. Oh, sorry, go on, Tim.
Sorry, quickly, Tim. Thank you very much to Tim. Thank you very much to Tim. Trump says he doesn't draw. ... Okay, Mike, who does draw? Go.
Well, we'll just go with that one because that's the story about the birthday letter, isn't it? That his letter was typed in a way that it was the shape of a woman, and he'd drawn with a Sharpie her hips and thighs, and then he signed his name as a pubic hair. And then Trump's defense against this is he doesn't draw.
Well, he drew that on that Sharpie on the
map,
didn't he?
When he drew hurricanes in and stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that is such a Prince Andrew answer, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't.
I don't sweat.
I don't sweat because of 9/11
sweat glands
or whatever it is.
I'm a fucking lizard.
I don't draw because of 9/11. It can't be done.
I know.
But the other thing I was going to say, about Trump is that if you notice the way he's now reacting to Putin, all right, where he's suddenly after 6 years of all of this is going, I think he might be a bad guy. And I think that's what's going to happen with the MAGA people. Yeah. It's like we're all sitting there going, he's a fucking pedophile. He was on the island. He used Epstein's bloody jet during the campaign because his own aeroplane packed up, basically. This was last year.
He was flying his jet when his 757 wasn't working. He was using Epstein's painted up jet, wasn't he?
Exactly right. He met and shagged his wife on Epstein's plane flying to the island. He was introduced to his wife, right? It's like all of these facts are all out there. We've all known this. Yeah. I think the MAGA guys are going to take another year or two for it all to sink in the same way that it's taken Trump 10 years to go, maybe Putin's lying to me.
It's like everything. It's like, you never thought, Gaddafi would fall and then he fell. And the guy in, looking all these dictators.
Saddam Hussein.
Yeah. Yeah, it has. Yeah, exactly.
So you think it's just
They're
gonna
in
happen
forever
in
and
an
ever.
instant? Like these guys
Assad,
did, like it was all very slow burn, those guys,
yeah.
right?
But you think they're in forever. Assad, in Syria, you never think these
Yeah.
guys are ever going to fall. And then, like I think Viktor Orban is in very precarious position, whatever it is, position. I think that they're there, and you never think they're going to fall, and then they do, and it's really quick. And I just think that's what might happen. I'm going to look this optimistically. I mean, I was wrong about Trump winning the election, but there are people who are saying he didn't win the election. But anyway, I think that this could go quite quickly. I mean, the really crappy thing is if he either dies or he resigns or there's a scandal, it's going to be Vance, and then you've got some nasty people behind Vance coming in. I mean, that
Yeah,
it'll be
be
worse.
careful what you wish for.
Yeah, but hey, one at a time.
Well, it's the same thing with Putin, isn't it? There's a lot of stories at the moment that the Russian economy is in serious trouble, and there are political moves going on around him at the moment, and it will happen very quickly when that happens as well.
Exactly. Well, the price of oil is so low, he can't afford to fight the war much longer, and he needed to. I think he in a way he needed a negotiation that gave him the land that he'd taken, and he's not going to get that now. So I think he is in trouble because the oil prices have dropped in Russia. The economy is nosediving. I think a lot of his citizens are very aware of what's happening. I mean, you can't kill that many young people and not realize that think something's not going well in the war. So I just think that, I mean, he might falling out of a window looks likely at some point.
We've got a super chat coming in from Tim Ballum. Thank you very much for the £5 super chat, Mikey. He drew signed pictures to be sold for a charity, and that's backed up by Ernie Byrne saying Trump had loads of his doodles of New York City auctioned for charity. Epstein's place, aka the Lolita Express, says Darian. Yeah, many parallels between Trump and Hitler, including being failed artists. And GJ Thomas says the 80s were a completely different time for a predator such as Trump, a sociopath. He would have been a fucking nightmare. But I mean, he still is. He still absolutely is. And he has no remorse for any of the horrible things he's done. How many lives that man has ruined, destroyed people's lives, and he gets off on it.
Well, in so many countries. I mean, the whole trans rollback in the UK.
Yeah.
Why Labour's so scared of actually being inclusive is because of Trump.
Because of Trump.
Yeah, it's an American thing.
Yeah. He's exporting his evil tariff free. Ironically enough. But it's just it's really, really grim. But I can't see his I was looking at the polls and he's still on fucking 44% or something, which is like 1% approval more than he was this time in his first administration.
His hardcore is 30 something. I mean, it's 30. Yeah. It's hardcore. I don't know. I think it's a fragile. I don't know. I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to be optimistic. I'm not going to let you not going to let you ruin my buzz, Graham. Not like last time.
No, Rachel. I think that I don't think he'll survive this.
No.
Term.
No.
Oh, the term. Oh, you don't think he'll make it?
He's not going to make the term. No.
But no. From a health perspective, do you think?
Health or maybe something else? But
well, I always had an opinion they might bump him off. Anyway, because they got him to win the election because he was popular, and then I just always felt there might be a little bumping off at some point. He doesn't wake up in his one morning.
Well, I mean, he's still a golden goose.
Well, the tech bros, Vance is in, and where they go.
But is Vance going to win the next election?
No.
Oh, but I think Vance will switch in this election, and then there won't be.
And I don't think
they still need to have an election.
I don't think they want that to happen until after the midterms. So I think Vance will
every 4 years
his time.
An election.
Yeah, but Vance will bide his time until after the midterms.
It's not.
And then if there is a move to be made, he'll make it then.
It's not like here. You can't just change a leader and not have an election. They can do that here. You can't do that in America.
I think there's going to be a bit of an upset in the midterms because I get the feeling that the Democrats are going, oh God, the Republicans aren't showering themselves in glory. But the thing is, the real horrible bits of this big bastard bill, they don't kick in till after the midterms.
yeah.
So the gutting of Medicaid and Medicare, that doesn't
Yeah.
happen until afterwards.
Yeah.
I think that the Republicans might do surprisingly well, not because they deserve it, not because people don't think they're a bunch of crooks, but because the Democrats are so unpopular. So if we're looking at Trump and say, well, he's in the low 40s, the number, the percentage that approves what he's doing, for the Democrats, that number is in the high teens.
Yeah. And there's a good reason that they've done what Labour's done. They've gone to the middle right. They've thrown all the progression. They're attacking trans people, the Democrats. You've seen Gavin Newsom dump on trans people.
Yeah.
There's a progressive left in America, and it's very large, and they are not representing them. They are going for the corporate middle. You've got a lot of young dynamic Democrats coming up who are fucking excellent, like that mayor of New York. But the problem is you've got, Schumer is, I managed to get the bill changed, the title of the bill. I mean, for fuck's sake, you want dynamic, angry leadership.
Go home.
It's just,
Open the door,
and
get
Hakeem
on
Jeffries,
the floor, everybody do the dinosaur.
It's
Hakeem
crazy.
Jeffries, he's
'Cause,
just
I don't understand why they just don't go home and rest.
resign, get some young blood in there.
Do you remember when a few weeks ago when there was a Democratic lawmaker who was shot dead at a house?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Chuck Schumer made a speech, and that's all he fucking did. Honestly, I was just cringing. He just made a speech and said how upset he was, and I was like, "Well, fucking do something then." And he was like, "We're gonna do something." I'm like, "Stop talking about doing something
to the government
and do something." Oh, what could he do? He's only the leader of the opposition, effectively.
They are dire. I mean, there's some young people coming out on the Democrats who are excellent and very progressive because they know that that's where the votes are.
There's some Democrats who are almost dead, and when you've got such a wafer thin minority, you can't be losing anymore. That bastard bill got through on one fucking vote, and that was partly because one of the Democrats couldn't make it there because they're on the fucking deathbed because they're 97 years fucking old. It's just
they should.
Ernie Burns. Before we go on, super chat. Thank you very much. It all happens very slowly and then all at once.
Absolutely, well done.
Mice and Men. John Steinbeck.
Very good.
I think maybe the midterms will be the tipping point. You might be right, Graham, that they might do quite well at it, and I think maybe that is what will make the Democrats finally change in the run up to the next election.
Trump winning then.
No, yeah, right. I don't know about that because Trump winning should have been the catalyst, should have been the moment.
But if you think back,
something's not right here.
Think back. I mean, is it only a year ago? Biden was still the candidate a year ago. I get it. But I think as a party, I don't know as much at all about American politics as I do the UK, but parties like the Labour Party in particular are huge, great oil tankers steaming away in one direction and really difficult to turn and make
Well, Labour's heading towards a big iceberg, and it ain't.
Well, did they transform enough when they needed to? It's been since 2017 they've been trying to change the Labour Party, and they're not doing a great job still at the moment, are they? So I think the Democrats have got the same problem. They need to be completely crushed before they'll turn around and do something, because this time last year they thought Biden was going to be the candidate.
I think if
they're all still backing.
If the Democrats do well in the midterms, it won't be because they've done well and people like it, will be because Trump has done so badly, like how Labour got elected. It wasn't because they were good, it was because Tories were so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, Labour scorecards like that, they have done some really good stuff this week. It was announced that 16 and 17-year-olds were allowed to vote. They're not getting rid of voter ID, but they're essentially going to allow you to turn up with a note from your mum saying that you're old enough to vote.
And in the same week, they bring out Section 28.
Yeah. So this is
ridiculous.
We should talk about now, if you want to, if you don't mind. This is new. This is new guidance, which is going to kick in September 2026 for schools when talking about relationships and sex and relationships. And they have taken the word transgender out of the whole thing.
Yeah, it's in there once for just what T means. So I mean, it is. You can't use materials to talk about gender identity. You can't. It's contested. They want to talk about the Supreme Court case, biological sex being, a certain and blah, blah. So it's all the sort of gender critical talking points. And actually, when that was put out for public scrutiny, more people rejected it than liked it. I can't remember how many they had. Loads of people responded. More people thought it was terrible, but the government ignored them and just went with it, of course. So they're going against the flow on what people think. Teachers think it's terrible. And I think it will. I mean, part of me thinks it's not, Labour's defence, it's not as bad as the Tories. And they've actually said to, they've sort of kind of said to trans people, look, we're better than they are. Just
but we're still shit.
Suck it up.
We're still gonna fuck with you.
Yeah,
I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's an awful thing. It's basically erasure in schools. And it is. Another couple of years of a right-wing government, the guidance will change, and it will be gay people. I mean, it's trans people, gay people. It's always that order, and it's just that's what we've been shouting at. So it is horrible that they brought it out. It's horrible that Labour are the party that written it and put it out. Phillipson does not like trans people. She, today, the Women and Equalities Committee and the Justice Committee wrote to her and said, we do not like your candidate for the Equality and Human Rights Committee. They didn't say she was gender critical, but they just said she wasn't experienced. She can't run big companies. She's only done women's rights. She doesn't know disability. She doesn't know black rights. She doesn't know any other things. She's crew weak. It's a complicated organization. We don't want her. 2 committees. But the Times put out an article this afternoon saying, as I posted, saying she's going to appoint her anyway. And she's gender critical. So, big surprise. And the Times actually said, Phillipson appoints gender critical candidate.
Why do we still call them gender criticals? Why can't we just call them transphobes?
Well, they are transphobes, but it is. So I don't know. But the only good thing is I don't know yet. The Times could be. What I've been reading and talking to other organizations is that she hasn't made the decision. And the Times wrote that article to force her, to pressure her. So I don't know, because the letter was only put on the government website this morning from the 2 committees rejecting her. So I don't know, but it is Labour is just playing every, we've taken the trans care away, and all the other countries and organisations have said puberty blockers the cash report isn't very good. They're now taking adult trans care away. The levy review will probably make trans care really difficult. They have now put Section 28 into schools for trans people. The violence against trans people isn't good. The courts are misgendering trans people and using biological sex as just standard terminology. The police are not being very sympathetic to trans people. It is with 4 or 5 articles a day, and Labour not moving the dial anywhere positively for trans people.
Yeah.
It sucks. And what really fucks me off is I was at the party with you guys dancing up and down the day Labour got. I was there. I was so happy. And then I didn't realize I was going to get my ass fucked but for the next year by them. And I think it's disgusting, and I hope they will rot in hell. So. Yeah.
And it's been there was a thing about the conference. They were asking to see people's gender identity for the fucking conference.
So passport, you've got to show your gender. You've got to show your sex at the entrance to the Labour conference. You've got to take a passport or a driving license with your sex marked on it. I don't know why.
Your driving license don't have sex on it, do they?
It does, but it's a 3-digit number.
Oh. Yeah. So it's not. It doesn't say M or F or X.
No, it doesn't. There's a 3-digit number, but there's a number on there that
Could we have X on our passports here?
No, we
never had that.
That's gone to our Supreme Court, and it was the lower court said it was administrative. I've had a couple of glasses of champagne. Administratively too difficult. And then when it went to the Supreme Court, they said security. So it's now going to the European Court of Human Rights.
These are the same people who gave away the details of 18,000 Afghans. That they put in an Excel spreadsheet.
The courts in the UK, we're losing more cases, and the judges are turning against us. It's like, and in one of the cases in the north, I'm not going to talk about it because it's quite stressful, but they, the other side is always the anti-trans side that will request that they want to misgender the trans person in the case. and they get doxxed and they get splattered all over the newspapers. And the reason they do that is so trans people don't bring cases, because they'll be in the newspapers and the papers will attack them. So it's another orchestrated, let's erase trans people from the UK. And, you know, and it's under a Labour government, which I, again, really fucking disgusted. And I know that I often have discussions with you in the Politics Social, and you will go, well, Tories will be better. You have to vote, you've got to vote Labour because the Tories will be better. Not for trans people, because the Labour have done worse things than the Tories. And when Reform get in 2029, there won't be anything left to do to trans people. So Labour can fuck off. I'm never going to vote Labour again.
What different? I mean, yeah, you got a point, but
I've got a point.
If that Supreme Court ruling had come down and the Tories would have been in charge,
yeah, they would have done.
Absolutely jumped.
They would have done, and I wouldn't have known that.
Around.
Yeah, it would have happened under the Tories, but they, you know, it's happening under Labour, and so I can't vote. I can't vote Labour again. I can vote Green, or I can vote Liberal, or I can vote Independent, and they're my only options. But I get strategic vote. Oh, you might let the Tories back in, but for me, they're not any worse.
Doesn't matter because they're all shit. They all hate us.
They are the same.
Yeah, it's
and
really,
disgusting.
really grim. It's really grim.
It's a real shame. It's a real shame.
And you know, in the 1980s and the early 90s, the Labour Party was very much against Section 28. You see footage from old conferences and things where you would see people protesting about Section 28. And Labour was very much on that side. The unions were on that side. But the
unions still are pro-trans, but the unions aren't funding, a lot of them aren't funding Labour anymore, are they?
Well, I mean, the fact that Labour are floundering so badly, not just on the trans rights issues, but also just, you know, in general. Yeah. It just shows that, like, after many years of preparing for government, they simply weren't prepared for government.
No.
It's kind of, you know, like, what the hell, guys? We gave you everything you asked for. A massive majority, a huge mandate.
It's thin, which is why they're going to get wiped.
Well, exactly.
I think that, you know, and I hear what Phil says. He said, just because they're on the left doesn't mean they're progressive. There are progressive people on the right. And there are in the Conservatives, there are progressive people. But I'm just surprised that the whole party shifted, and there aren't many vocal voices. This Blue Labour project going after the centre-right vote is ridiculous, because there's all those people on the left, and they are progressive, and they're voters, and they're workers, and you know, and it's just, what the fuck are you doing? How can you chase the old Tory vote? The Tories are still there. They're crap and they're not very good, but they're still there chasing the Reform vote, and they're there. You should be on the left. There's nobody on the left. And you know,
Rachel, I don't even know if it's that anymore. I don't think they're chasing the Reform vote. I think there's just something wrong in their thinking on this. Yeah, I think we can't blame the other, because, to be fair, I don't think Reform bang on about it anywhere near as much, really.
They don't bang on about trans stuff. I mean, they've got their manifesto's pretty, you know, gender ideology and binary, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's still, we're safe to assume what their opinion is. But I don't think it's the thing that, you know, are we saying that Labour have picked it out as something that, A, as you said earlier, probably pleases Trump in some way?
Yeah.
And then B, they can't fight Reform on immigration, so they're choosing it to, you know, because we know Reform have got a similar agenda to Trump. Maybe it's that. I don't know. It feels to me like we should be putting the blame on Labour directly and just saying, no, this is you guys. You're just doing this.
Well, the top
there's a reason for it.
The advisors, Keir Starmer, is mega anti-trans. They've written some pretty horrible stuff about, and I think that's one thing in their ear. And two, McSweeney does not want to, you know, they could fight. They know it's wrong. They know where the money's coming from, and they know that all the stuff they're saying about trans people isn't true. But they do not want to go up against 83% of the media that's going to go for them. And they're going to get asked what is a woman in every interview. They don't want to. They just don't want to do that. They should do
Rachel,
that.
Can I ask you one of my dumb questions that you're happy to slap me for, basically? But when I do an allied post, if I do anything that's allied in the trans discussion, I get a lot of people saying, "Don't force trans ideology on us."
Yeah. Well, that's
And I look at that phrase
their
and I go,
phrasing.
well, I don't know what that means. I know an activist
It
involved
doesn't
in
mean
this
anything,
world,
because
and I don't
It's-
think there's
it's
an
the same thing.
ideology anyone's trying to
It's the
sell to
same
anyone.
thing as
Basically,
saying don't. You're forcing the gay agenda.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's exactly the same. It's
Yeah.
just different words.
It's just
saying that basically what it's saying is you are trying to tell me that what you are saying is acceptable and correct, and it's not.
Yeah.
That's their thinking. So
Yeah.
an ideology, they're saying that like, oh, you just think this weird thing that's not real.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
to discredit
I've
my
just got-
identity.
Yes.
I've just got a super chat come in from Paula saying, I remember, thank you very much, Paula. I remember saying to my nephew before the election that Starmer had not seen a Tory policy that he didn't like. I'm afraid I was right. Yeah, I think there's a lot of, there's a lot of opinions on this, but from my experience of being in the Labour Party for the last few years, there's a fuckload of transphobes in the party.
Yeah.
Who
There
see
are.
themselves as progressive, see themselves as left wing, see themselves as there for the little guy. Do you know what I mean? And then they'll turn around and they'll say, right, I'm gonna hate all trans people, and they've been radicalized online.
Yeah.
They have been part of groups, politics groups, and you get one person in these politics groups on like Facebook or something who has a big problem with trans people, and they will get loads of people on side. Because they'll use that line of, well, you think you're a feminist. Okay, well, if you're a feminist, you've got to hate trans people. Look at what they're doing. Look at the rights they're stealing from us. Women had to die for the right to do this, and this. And, it's not Boris Johnson. It's not Donald Trump who's taken these rights away. It's trans people.
Yeah, exactly that.
And it's not just trans women, because you see time and time again, people complaining about when they say, pregnant people or pregnant or people who menstruate, and the reason they do that is because trans men exist. It's not because of trans women. And suddenly they're like, oh no, that's erasing women. If you say that, that's erasing women. And then they have the get out that if someone who's cisgender, a male cisgender like me, wades in with me size 10s and says that's bollocks.
You're a man.
You don't get to say anything. This is not your conversation.
This is not your conversation.
No, it's
you
awful.
are no longer. Yeah, you have nothing to say on this because we're women, and that's the end of it.
I've been confronted with that in the local Labour Party.
Yeah, and I think this is something that needs to be stamped out of Labour.
That is gender criticalism.
It's gender critical ideology, because that is an ideology that is made up. Because the stuff they're saying isn't real.
Yes.
There's no trans ideology. Trans women don't attack women in loos. We were living our life quite happily to 2016 until a think tank in Washington decided this was the plan.
Yeah.
And here we are. So people who spool this stuff either are true believers, and that's just bad education, or they don't believe it, but they're saying it because they're either cowardly, they don't want to go up against the media, or they just, it's expedient for their political career.
Yeah. GHK, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Live and let live. Unless you're trans, it's so wrong. Yep, it is. Absolutely. Chris C says, as an LGBTQ ally and having represented the community while within prison, I have on occasion misgendered someone. I've nearly had my head removed from my shoulders. Green Seer says, as a trans woman, I've realised there is a point where the lesser evil argument for supporting breaks down. That point is where voting for that lesser evil would be personally degrading. Yep, couldn't agree more. And Scott says, if not this Scott,
No,
Scott in the
I
chat
know, it's Scott
says,
in the chat.
if brutally honest, I can feel uncomfortable as speaking about trans. I just think that they are people, regardless, treat each other as such. And they've made it so
obvious.
that
Go on.
No, I was going to say,
Rachel-
I've got to go in a sec, but I wanted to say what Chris said. I mean, making mistakes is fine. I educate every day, and I say to allies, don't care if you get my pronouns wrong, as long as you apologize. Don't care if you get the language wrong. Don't care as long as you apologize and move on quickly. It's fine. It's the silence that's killing us. It's the people not saying anything. I'd rather you got stuck in and said, I love trans people. And if you make the mistakes, I don't care. It's people who don't say anything right now. With cisgender women, they're coming for you next. You should be standing up and fighting for us because we're fighting for you right now. LGBT people, you're attacking trans people, you're next. We won't be there to fight for you.
Right.
We'll be first in the camps before you. You should be fighting. And that's where we should be. And if we all fought together, we'd be winning this, but we're not. We're divided. And that was the intention. And so I think that don't be scared, get into this fight, and don't be scared to make mistakes. That's fine. I'd rather you did something than said nothing.
I mean, you speak to most trans people, and when you speak to cis people, and they give you this whole, well, I don't talk about the trans thing. I don't want to misgender someone. I don't want to offend them. They'll bite my head off if I get it wrong, and so I'm too scared to. Like, that is such
rubbish.
Itself a right-wing talking point.
Absolutely.
It's bullshit, because most trans people will just correct you and move forward. They're not going to sit there and scream at you about, like hysterical banshees. But that is a stereotype. That is a bullshit thing that they've come up with. It's like, well, you'll just get your head bitten off if you do it wrong. No, you won't. Just relax and just talk.
We might have been a bit like that back in 2016 during the good times. We're definitely not like that now. Would rather you said something.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rach.
That's
we
all right.
really appreciate you coming on the show and talking about this stuff.
You.
And I know it's horrible. So it's horrible having to talk about it. It's horrible having to live through it. I really appreciate doing the rabbit hole because it gives us a chance to just have
Me
fun
too.
and not talk about this shit, but it does need to be talked about.
Me too.
Thank you.
I mean, I love being on this channel. I love the socialites and their kindness in the chat. I sometimes pop in the morning and say hello, and they're really kind. So anyway, have a lovely weekend, everybody. And socialites, thanks a lot for the super
Are you off to be a champagne socialist now, Rachel? Is that what's
I am going to finish off being a champagne socialist. That's my Friday night. Yeah. Thank everybody.
Brilliant. Thank you, Rach. Bye. Sarah Davis, £5 super chat. My anxiety is so bad, I'm afraid to leave my flat and having suicidal thoughts. This is thanks to what Labour's done to me. I'm so sorry, Sarah. And we chat. I was going to say offline, but we did off the show. Right. And I know that you've gone through absolute hell for the last year because Labour have not done what we wanted them to or expected them to. And it's shit. It's really, really shit. And I don't think they understand how much damage they're doing, how much harm they're doing.
I think the problem for me is just why they're doing anything. It's like they didn't need to do anything about this. No. They didn't need to change any laws, didn't need to do anything. Everything was okay. They've picked it as a subject that they want to go and have a fight. And I don't fight
with one of the most vulnerable minorities in the country.
Yeah.
Chris C, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. You will never stamp out hatred in organisations as people are poorly educated and they fear what they don't understand. That's true. But the trans community is an easy target. That's why the bullies have gone after them. They won't go after the travellers because the travellers will fucking kick their asses. The travellers will be able to physically fight back and make life hell for people. And they'll get a lot of support. Whereas
again,
trans people...
Diane Abbott's had having a go at travellers this week in a way, isn't she?
Well, not really.
Oh my God.
She made a clumsy point like 3 years ago, and now she's doubled down on it. And
she made it again. Yeah.
Well, she just said she stood by what she said. And I'm like, well, you could look at it this way. She was suspended for a year, and then she was given back the whip. So... was it not that bad, or was that the punishment? Or I don't really understand how that went down. But
the whole politics of Diane Abbott is a mess. I mean, listen. My opinion on this is genuinely that she did not want to stand this time last year. She did not want to stand. She was negotiating with the Labour Party to get a peerage. It didn't work out because somebody leaked it. It was a whole mess of internal politics going on at the time. The woman's ill. She doesn't want to be an MP anymore. She wants to take the retirement check. And I think this is just part of that. I think it's an easy... I mean, she's very principled. I get all of that. But she knows in her heart that a Corbyn party doesn't stand a chance.
So,
split in the party. So I think it's just a part of a retirement plan, to be honest with you.
Scott, what were you going to say, mate? Sorry.
All I was going to say is that this is a difficult subject to talk about because of obviously we're three white guys. And you know, like for me, like I was thinking of doing a TikTok video about it because what she is saying essentially is correct. And a lot of people just don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that if you are white passing, that you experience a different type of prejudice than people who are of color. And I don't understand how that in itself is anti-Semitic. I don't get it. To say that is anti-Semitic, I don't understand.
No, I think you're right.
I don't understand because if you are white, right, and Jewish, how do I know you're Jewish unless you tell me you're Jewish?
Well, you could be dressed. You could be dressed in a certain way.
You could be dressed in a certain way. That's fine. I dress in a certain way too, and people are prejudiced against me because I'm a meddler, or goth, or whatever, right? But at the end of the day, if I dress like mainstreamy way of dressing, no one's gonna know that I'm a goth or a meddler. So you know, it's the same thing. They don't that still you yes, people experience anti-Semitism. I don't think, and this is the thing. Diane Abbott didn't say that they didn't. No, she's not saying nobody experiences prejudice. That's
You're
not
just
what
saying
she
it's
said.
different. Yeah.
She's just saying that there's differences. And that we have to understand that when there's racism against Black people, that is different from racism against Jewish people and travelers and etc.
Yeah,
Everything she said was correct, which is why I'm completely confused as to why she is being.
I just think,
Mike, I'll bring you in for a second. Did I read out Chrissy's super chat? You will never stamp out hatred in organizations.
You did.
I read that one. Okay, thanks, Chris, for that. Tim, thank you. Graham, have you seen the Trump Epstein bus stop poster? Yes, I have.
They're great.
I hope we have lots of them lining the route when he arrives.
Yeah,
you know.
Did you see also have you seen the Good Liars on YouTube? There's two American guys that go around to all the conventions and things, interviewing MAGA people. And today they turned up in the Trump store in Manhattan, and they put postcards in all the racks with him and Epstein, a picture of him and Epstein saying, "Wish you were here," basically. And it's like a rather beautiful trick. Scott, sorry, just to go back to what you're saying. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think the problem is you've got to look at what's going on with Diane Abbott in the context of what went on a year ago with the whole split in the Labour Party and the threats that were going on, and the fact that she was suspended because they were still fighting, as they saw it, the momentum movement. And it was said in that context. And I think you're right. The separate interview that she did, however wise it was to do it, she's not wrong. It's a good point, and it's a valid point to make. But I think in the context of what was going on in the Labour Party a year ago.
But that was a year ago. Why are we still harping on about it?
I don't know.
She got into trouble. She got in trouble. She was brought back into the fold.
Well, the reason we're talking about it now is she doubled down on it in another interview, basically.
Yeah, no, I understand that. But she's not wrong. This is what's so annoying.
No, but
she's not wrong. It was so fucking weird this morning, right? Listening to LBC, right? Tom Warwick explains what she said, right? And I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes complete sense. And then we've got the person from the anti-Semitic labor group or whatever. I can't remember the exact name. And he ripped in to how anti-Semitic she was. And I was like, what did she say that was anti-Semitic? I don't understand. I don't get it. What did she say? What did she say? All she said was that they experience prejudice differently. I don't get it.
Well, let's do the actual quote from the letter to the Observer. She wrote, Irish, Jewish and traveller people undoubtedly experience prejudice. This is similar to racism. It is true that many types of white people with points of difference, such as redheads, can experience this prejudice, but they are not all their lives subject to racism. And I don't have a problem with bringing redheads into this as a redhead, but I know that one of the tropes that racists use or anti-Semites or people who hate travellers, or the anti-Irish, anti-traveller prejudice, is that their prejudice isn't real racism, because travellers aren't a race, Jews aren't a race. Calling Jews not a race is seen as minimising anti-Semitism. So it's quite a nuanced point.
And travellers and the Romani community have a similar stance in a way.
Yes.
That they're not regarded as a race, but they do regard themselves that way.
Within the context of what was happening at the time, Labour was already hypersensitive after the Corbyn era anti-Semitism scandals. And this is their rule, and they have a set of rules, and it says you can't say this. And she's basically said that again.
And it doesn't make it right, Scott. I think it's just the context.
Yeah,
and
I don't think she's. I don't think that what she said is that out of order. But I can see why some people would see it.
I think it's true.
It's
completely true. I'm not saying that Jewish people aren't a race or whatever.
But that's what she was saying. That's the problem. That's the connotation. She's saying they experience prejudice. It's not race.
People who are black are going to are going to get a certain degree of racism that someone who is white is not going to get.
I think the thing is, it was clumsy. She even admitted that herself. The letter was clumsy. Why pick on the three groups that she picked on? Why not broaden it out further, basically? You know what? That's still not backing down from what she said. She's still saying that black people experience a different type of racism.
No, but she doesn't say a different type of racism. She doesn't acknowledge that prejudice towards Jewish people or Irish people or travellers can be regarded as racism. She calls it prejudice. And it's similar to the prejudice that gingers get. And it's not. It's just not. Yeah. No, there's never, ever in history been a systemic program to get rid of every single redhead on the planet. That's happened to Jews. It's happened to travellers. It's happened to the Irish.
Right. And it's kind of happened to black people.
Oh no, it's absolutely happened to black people. Yeah.
So they're all experiencing the same sort of prejudice and shit, right? But when you look at the thing is, when you see a black person, you see a white. If you were to interview, if you're a racist, if you're prejudiced against anybody, if you had a choice between a Jewish person and a black person, and you don't like either of them, who are they going to choose?
Well, I don't think that matters. What matters is,
they would choose she's a person.
She's a member of the Labour Party. They have these rules that you have to sign up to if you want to be a member of this club. And one of them is, don't say that anti-Semitism isn't also racist. And she did. She said, "Well, that's prejudice. It's not racist."
I think it's around. But she didn't use those words, did
no,
she?
I've read out what she said. Look, I think Mike's right. She just said it clumsily. I can see what she's saying, because if you are walking down the street and someone who's not dressed like they're going to the synagogue is walking down the other way, you're not going to know they're Jewish. You are not going to know whether they're Jewish or not. Yeah. You're not going to know if they're Swedish. You're probably not going to know if they're gay. You're probably, but
And a more unclumsy way of saying it would have just been to say, black people experience a different form of racism because it's it's obvious in the street, and she didn't need to mention any of the other groups. In any way.
I agree with that. Does that deserve being suspended?
If it's against the rules of the club, then
The thing is,
I guess so.
I'm fairly certain it was a calculated move on her part. You have to bear in mind that she's one of the MPs that constantly votes against the government. So the
government,
in terms of party politics,
all right.
To be honest with you, Mike, I don't blame her at the moment.
Yeah, right.
And I do question. I genuinely, there were 44 Labour MPs voted against the government on the recent vote, wasn't there? And not all of them have been suspended. So what's going on, we don't know. There's certainly a group of Labour MPs that Keir Starmer would rather not have in the party, and he's made that clear. And he got rid of them right at the beginning of the Queen's speech, and Diana's just put herself back on the chopping block now, basically. But I don't know. I'm not defending what the Labour Party have done. I'm not defending what Diane did either. I just think it was genuinely a clumsy thing. And I think, Scott, the most important thing is that you said very clearly is that the three white men in this room probably have got to the end of what we can discuss about this in terms of opinions, really. But
Yeah, because I think it's really important that we need to listen to actual people of color,
Yeah.
and hear their experiences,
Yeah.
because they're going to be a little bit more in tuned.
Very
And,
much so.
and like I said, I was thinking about doing a video about it, but I'm not going to talk about that because I watched two black creators speak about it far more eloquently than I
Yeah.
ever will be able to. So, yeah. Well, I'm probably if anything I do a video on it would be the trans section 8, 28,
Yeah.
and
In a way, I
how
mean, I
that
think
affects
not to
that affects
compare
people.
them, but I think they're similar issues, aren't they? It's almost why, the Labour
Oh
Party
yeah,
is a
well,
big, broad church. So why pick on any one group to say this is
yeah,
different?
it's
We should all
exactly
be allies to each other for all of
right.
these minorities.
Exactly,
Then,
this should all be intersectional,
yeah,
and this is where this is a problem, and where uh, Rachel explained very very exasperated with the idea that there are gays and lesbians who are anti-trans. Um, you know, we have to remind those very people that are part of our community, that are part of our family, and say to them, "You understand? These people go. The people in power will come for us, and they just won't hear it, and it's so frustrating." And
I think that argument of Rachel's is very powerful. It's
true.
very early last year. She and her wife gave me some time to help me understand the issues much better, and that is the thing that stuck with me for the whole year. Is just they are just slicing the salami here, basically, and they won't taking the easy target.
Terrifying. It's terrifying how many gay people have suddenly become anti-trans.
Yes.
Whereas 10 years ago they didn't
care. They didn't care. And it just shows how strong manipulation is, especially on social media. This was all born out of groups on Facebook suddenly going, "Oh my God, if you hear what the trans people are doing."
Yeah.
And in the same way that one of the reasons
what this man did.
Yeah. One of the reasons why it was easy to sort of set up a sort of gay panic back in the 1980s is because most people who were gay weren't openly gay. So a lot of people might have had gay mates, but they didn't know. They never saw two men kiss. They just didn't see it. They never saw two men walking down the street hand in hand. And so when people started seeing it more, they started becoming more, desensitized to it. They started going, okay, I'm going to be more accepting of this.
But
this is fine.
Time, it heightened the prejudice against it because more people saw it, just like it is with the trans people. More people saw it. More people are coming out as trans. More people are comfortable coming out as trans. But now it's an ideology. It's not an agenda. It's an ideology.
Yeah,
it's the same fucking thing.
You're right. But what I meant was they knew gay people in their own lives, so it will be someone in their life, a friend or a neighbor or someone like that. But with trans people, because there's such a small minority and always will be, they're never going to be.
But more people are coming out. I'm not saying that percentage is going to increase exponentially in any way. But what I'm saying is that more people are going to start experiencing it in their families, in their work.
But I think it always surprises me anyway that I live in a city that more than likely, I imagine, has an awful lot more trans people than most because it's a welcoming city. And I probably in my in the things I do, the community groups I'm in or whatever, basically I've come across maybe 4 or 5 trans people.
That's more than someone in Durham comes across.
Absolutely, that's what I mean. I live in a city.
I've got loads of trans mates. What are you talking about?
Arguably would be.
No, I'm just saying the average person in Durham. You're not the average person in Durham.
I'm not the average person in Durham.
No, but the average person in Durham does not come across trans people on a regular basis.
Yeah, no, in an environment that's just a committee meeting for a local community group or whatever.
What we had in the 1980s is there was some films that featured gay characters. There'll be some TV shows, but people didn't really know any gay people in real life unless they were part of the scene. And there were a lot of people who got married to a woman even though they were gay because they didn't want people to know they were gay. That's changed now, and so loads of people have someone in their life who they love, who they respect, who they look up to, who are gay. And because of the
Are
numbers.
we talking about Scott here?
Yes.
Because I respect. And
I look up
love
to
and
Scott.
look up
I
to
do-
him,
I
basically.
do
He's
want to
taller
point out
than
that
me, so I have to look up to him.
there are many men who still get married.
Yes.
and are so blatantly gay.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But I mean, that
Because they
and
message
that
me on Grindr and ask me if I want to hook up during the day.
that is why the think tanks, the right wing think tanks, the Heritage Foundation, the Federalist
Well, they're full of
Society
those
in
people.
America, they sat around and went, "Who can we demonize? Which group in society can we say all the world's ills are these people's fault?"
And if we point to
And
them, they won't look at us.
Ask
because we are
any
the closeted.
ask
racists.
any
Yeah, yeah,
turf
yeah.
that you ever meet to go through their old timeline on Facebook and find a message before 2015 complaining about trans women using the toilets. A single message. There isn't one. There is not a single fucking message from anyone anywhere in the world before 2015, even discussing it, even thinking about it, because no one gave a fuck. And then the
Also,
think
this
tank decided
stage,
that we all had to
it
know
always-
about it.
It always strikes me that there is absolutely no voice talking about trans men using men's toilets.
Well, there are. You know who are talking about it? Trans men. Because they're the ones that are in danger now.
Yeah.
In the sense that if they are told that they have to use a toilet that aligns with their biological sex, they are going to get themselves into a lot of trouble because a lot of them are very, well, just like a lot of trans women are very womanly passing. A lot of these trans men are very male passing. You will never have known that they were trans men. So there's gonna, and I think it's already kind of happening. And this is where trans policing is coming in, and transvestigating, and we're seeing a lot of that shit happen now. But trans men are the ones that are actually trying to talk about it because they're going, "What are you going to do when you see me walk into your toilet?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?" Because I don't look any different from the cis guy that.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Well,
that you're
that's
so
the thing that a
fucking
predator could say. A predator could say, I'm a trans man. I was born a woman. I've taken loads of
I have a
testosterone and
vagina,
stuff.
but I'm not going to show you.
Darian Destar, thank you very much for the £10 super chat. If Charles is refusing to talk to Andrew because of his Epstein connections, shouldn't he refuse to talk to Trump as well? Probably, but I don't think he can. But yeah, questionable absanity as well. Thank you very much for the £5 super chat. The heroes protect the weak, the bullies attack the weak, the cruel cheer, the bullies and cowards sit in silence. Are we in the rise of cruelty? Yeah,
100%.
And we have three big problems now. First of all, we had the internet come along, and it was completely unpoliced. Then, before then, the 1980s, you had Rupert Maxwell. Robert Maxwell and Rupert Murdoch. Oh, thank you. I'll take both. Cheers. Cat's given me an option of freeway beer or beer Moretti. So. Oh, there's Captain Morgan as well. Okay, maybe later. Thank you. Cheers, sweetie. Brilliant. So I'm going to open the beer. And yeah, so you had.
Look at how great my girlfriend is, man.
She is. She ran the 5K.
Yes, I saw it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
She started Couch to 5K in January, and she completed the 5 kilometer race in the Durham run.
To be fair, Graham, and she deserves every award and plaudit for that, but she also lives with you.
Yes.
And
huge.
I don't think there are enough medals and certificates for that woman, basically.
She's got to put up
sainthood, right?
Yeah. So then we had the tabloids being taken over by the likes of Murdoch and Maxwell, and then we had the internet come along, and about 10 years later we had social media come along, and now we've got AI come along, and when no one's policing it, no one's stopping it. But to go back to my point about no one cared what trans people got up to, 10 years ago. I often talk about the fact that no one cared about the EU, right? So when the people were asked after the 2010 election what their top priorities were, it was something like less than 1% what put the EU in their top priorities. But there was a core of people who existed, like Farage, like Kilroy Silk, who would, you know, put up stickers saying, "Don't let Europe rule Britannia. Say no to the euro." You know, the Eurosceptics in the Tory party, they existed. But TERFs did not exist they really didn't exist as a thing until 2015. There wasn't even an underlying, you know, movement that was anti-trans. It just blew up out of fucking nowhere. They took
It blew up over the internet.
Yeah. They took a word and then they made it a pejorative. They said it was a pejorative, but actually trans-exclusionary radical feminist was a word that was invented in the 1970s by a feminist. It wasn't by someone who was like trying to have a pop at them.
Yeah. Someone who's blatantly trying to say, you guys are being exclusionary.
Yeah. Yeah. But
it is what you are doing.
The number of people who had a big problem with trans people was tiny. I mean, there was no overlap with homophobia, but I'm just talking about, you know, picking them out as a group. It was hardly anyone. And then suddenly, overnight, you see the power right there of money, influence, social media, the internet, and these bullshit artists running around telling everyone what to think and who to hate. And people have gone down the rabbit hole, so many of them.
This is probably, again, you know, I have a habit of thinking things and then having to say them, and then as I'm saying them thinking maybe I shouldn't say this. But you were mentioning earlier about the way that culturally, you know, people like Kenneth Williams and John Inman, etc., and you know, in almost every sitcom there was a very camp character in the 60s and 70s, which kind of laid the groundwork, I always think, for acceptance. I'm saying Mr. Humphries. Mr. Humphries was possibly gay. I'm not sure. It was never declared. But then, and I know it's different. I know it's absolutely different because these are more drag characters. But you know, people like Danny LaRue and Dame Edna Everage, etc. They're all of. You'd have thought that there was a process of. It's not the same as transsexuality. I absolutely get it, but you would have thought that there was a level of acceptance that was running through the society, and then as you say, it just became this thing of, no, we're going to hate these people.
No, this is what you need to understand the most, and this is what you, if you, because we live in the sphere of political commentary, political news, political stuff, because we're trying to keep aware of the things that are happening. You talk to the average Joe on the street, don't give a shit about trans people.
No, absolutely.
They don't care. Right. And most of the people don't care about trans people. This is a very vocal minority of people that have gained, as Graham said,
and the thing I find, Scott, the most, whenever I post anything about it, I did a cartoon about J.K. Rowling and Keir Starmer standing outside a toilet with a camera checking people's gender, and the comments that I got, the attack comments on there, and I get nothing like Supertansky gets, and I deal with it in a particular way, you know, to just try and make it funny all the time. But they were all men, middle-aged men.
Yeah. This is to certain cis men, especially misogynists. They see trans women as an affront. They see them as a sort of almost like people. Like they see them a lot of times as gay men who are trying to infiltrate into the heterosexual man's pants. You have to look back at the late 90s and the early 2000s of shows like Jerry Springer, where, you know, years is it a man, Maury? You know, all that sort of that stuff. This idea of gay men dressing up as women to infiltrate sort of
heterosexual men. Yeah.
There's a whole trope about that in the 80s, 90s, and noughties, wasn't there?
Yes,
South
massively.
Park, Ace Ventura, Naked Gun.
Yeah. So men see trans women as an affront. They also see it as a sort of sissification, you know, the demasculization of men.
Yeah, because if they see a beautiful trans woman and they're attracted to her because she's a beautiful woman, they're like, "Oh my god, I must be gay." And it's like, well, no,
am I gay? Yeah.
You're attracted
I couldn't
to them.
tell if that I couldn't tell if that person was a man or a woman.
Yeah.
And I wonder if things like online dating are influencing that as well, secretly to some extent.
Before we go on, shout out to Kirsty Hamilton. Kirsty says, been a bit quiet on the chat. Been a bit quiet to the chat this evening. In hospital, having a heart attack on Wednesday night. On the mend, I hope. So, love and best wishes to Kirsty. I hope you get, you feel better soon. That really sucks. But at least you're still with us. At least you're still with us, and that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Quinn C has dropped €5 in the Super Chat Fund. Imagine Dame Edna interviewing Putin. He'll not know what to do, kiss her or be outraged.
Yeah.
Well,
Really?
yeah.
Hey, it's a shame.
Or Trump. Can you imagine Trump with Dame Edna? I'm sure that must have happened.
I don't.
You will find there is some lovely video footage of Rudy Giuliani dressed in drag, hanging out in some department store in New York
with Trump flirting with a
But it's cool. It's cool now to be transphobic. It's cool to be. It's edgy to just like it's edgy to be racist or whatever. It is edgy to be transphobic, to be homophobic. That.
And you look at what was going on in was it
blah.
Epping last night? The riots or whatever they were.
It's ridiculous what's going on there.
You look at that crowd of people and you think it's really not difficult to seed any thought you want in their heads, is it really?
Well, it's so obvious. Because I don't. Where are all those people? Where they at the white person's sexual assault assailant's house last week? No, they fucking weren't. And this is we have to read that for what that is: racism, pure, simple,
totally
indoctrinated reform bullshit.
Yeah,
and it's just a repeat of last summer.
Yeah, and they're stirring the pot. The people in charge, the higher ups, the alpha gobshites. They're telling the little plebs to go off into the field, get themselves arrested, lose their jobs, lose their family, lose access to the kids. On behalf of these motherfuckers. Stop yawning, Scott.
Sorry, mate. I'm tired. I've had a long day.
Keeping you up, man.
Yeah, keeping him up.
I've had a long day. I've had a very long day.
I didn't know it'd be so hard to keep you up. It'll be easier than this. Anyway,
being naked would be a difference.
Who were Mrs.
Lucas?
The thing with you two is it starts with innuendo and then it just becomes blatant.
No, he starts with innuendo. I go blatant.
You go blatant.
Yeah, because I actually want it to happen, whereas he doesn't.
I'm like Carry On, and he's just like
I have a girlfriend.
He's like Queer as Folk. He's just straight in there.
And it's like that first scene.
Can I just say Wayne is in the chat?
Wayne, come along, Wayne and Mikey and
he's offered to take
Hannah.
on milk orders. So
he's offered to take on what?
Milk orders.
Wayne's
have some chocolate milk, please.
Wayne's put Essex being represented by See You Next Tuesdays again, FFS. What do you expect, mate? It's Essex. It's full of them. It's
I wouldn't be surprised if Wayne wasn't there.
Bunch of See You Next Tuesdays in shit cars. That is just Essex.
It never ceases to amaze me. That video that I put in the chat today, the thugs attacking police vans and jumping all over them and smashing them. There's one guy, the guy filming it is shouting. She's put it in reverse and the doors are open. There was a female copper driving this van, and these are the people that claim that British culture is supreme and they're protecting women, and the police are, part of.
Unless they're wearing a
do you want to know?
Line.
Do you want to know something? The religious police in Saudi Arabia, who are prepared to bury a woman up to her hips and throw stones at her until she's dead because she plucked her eyebrows, will claim that they're doing it to protect women. You hear this time and time again.
Modesty of other women, and that is a bad example.
Yeah.
It's the same shit.
Yep.
It's
often that when Scott quite rightly says there's three white guys here talking about a race issue, we probably shouldn't. We're talking about trans. We did have Rachel in the room, but it is three white guys with dicks talking about trans issues here. And ultimately, you think, well, why are all these men coming out saying, I'm protecting women's rights? And you go, let the women do this. Support them, but don't make the argument yourself, because honestly, it's not your job.
Surely this is Two Men with Dicks. That should be the name of the show.
Two men with my
dicks.
You're
two
the dicks.
Men
Yeah, the dicks.
Yeah. I see. Right, my name, it sounds like cocks.
Yeah.
Right, I get it. Right.
The
Yeah.
two
What do
men-
you mean it sounds like cock? What are you talking about sounds? Like, it literally
potentially.
means that. When we say your
Potentially.
name, I think Graham is saying my dicks. Like he's got two.
Oh, pull the other one. Tim, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Tim's been very, very generous this evening. US Department of Justice, the DOJ, has been contacting states demanding access to sensitive election and voting data. If a midterm does go ahead, I do not think it will be free and fair. I really don't.
No, there's going to be some corruption.
One Angry Pagan, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. My sword at your backs and my sword at your service, the trans community. Thanks for that, One Angry Pagan. And I feel like there are segments of society that are under attack, and I feel like this is a concerted effort by certain bad actors to divide our society and have us fighting amongst ourselves. And we've got to kick back against it. We've got to say this is not right, and take people to task if they're being transphobic. Have you always felt this way, or did you just decide to start feeling this way after you were told to feel this way by Murdoch?
Yeah.
Or Trump or Musk or
I
whoever.
do every time. I will not have transphobia near me. Do you know what I mean? At the barbershop on a Saturday, they'll say shit to wind me up. So they'll be purposely transphobic just to wind me up. I'm identifying as a lemur today. They'll say stupid shit like that. But the truth of it is, when the trans men come in for their haircut, they're nice as fucking pie to them. They love them because they know they're going to get paid.
Cool.
You know what I mean? So, I know they're not really transphobic people. But when it comes down to transphobic people who, say things and they don't realize they're being transphobic because they've been so brainwashed into thinking that these are normal talking points, then you have to try to educate and go, no, And I do that, but I do that about gay people as well. There's still stereotypes about gay people all the time. That gay people are always, naturally effeminate. That they're always bottoms who love getting.
Scott, you could help me on this one. I met a guy in hospital on Wednesday in the waiting room for the bum camera, and he's from Hove. He was a lovely bloke. He'd just come out from his exam and he got on all clear, so I was chatting to him about what they'd been looking for and what I was waiting for and stuff. He was really sweet because he said he actually said, well, are you on your own? Do you want me to hang around? I'll
really nice
wait for you. But then we were talking a bit, and I said, what brought you to Brighton? And he said, oh, it was a guy. I moved down here for a guy. And I said, oh, it's always the same, isn't it? It's always romance that takes you to a town, basically. And he said, yeah, but he said, I was really cautious, right? And I want to get this right, because he was an absolutely fucking lovely bloke. And we had a really real moment together because of what we were both going through that day. But he said, the thing is, I'm a homophobic gay. And I've never heard that phrase in my life, right? And I said, what on earth do you mean by that? And he said, well, I don't know if that's the right phrase, but he said, I don't approve of the gay scene, but I'm gay. Okay. And I just thought, wow, that's something I've never heard. That's not something I'd come across.
All right. There
for him to use the word homophobic was the thing I thought. That was the
He
interesting.
there is there are a lot of gay men out there who do not like the scene. They don't like the clubbing and the going out, the almost community aspect of it. We don't have the same sort of community aspect to the gay scene as like maybe America does, but we do have like a kind of culture where we go out and we hang out with each other
Sure,
and that sort of
sure.
thing, and that can be seen by very off-putting by a lot of gay men. They don't like it. There was many years where I was very not so, I wouldn't say anti-scene. It was just something that didn't interest me, so I didn't do it. I didn't go out to gay places, and I didn't live sort of like, I guess what you would call almost like a gay lifestyle, to where I was only hanging out with gay people, going to gay places, doing gay shit. And that was my life. So a lot of guys who don't live in that sort of way, they sort of almost can't describe themselves as that, because they're saying, well, I shun that sort of idea of
Right,
lifestyle, because I live in a different way, and I live in a, maybe, and I hate to say it, a more straight or heteronormative
No,
way.
that's pretty much how he described his marriage. Yeah. And
And
but he
that's
also did say,
fine.
to
And
be
I
fair
know
to him, he
many a
did
gay
say
like
once he
that.
moved to Brighton, he said, actually, what my perception of what Brighton was that it was all gay scene
That's not
was
true.
wrong. You know, there
Yeah,
are
but that's, he obviously didn't live in London, because that's very much in London as well. So, you
Right,
know, it's yeah, he wants to live a more
he
heteronormative
moved down from
life.
Birmingham.
I've got a super chat coming from Ernie. Thank you so much, Ernie. Top bloke. Bigots call it ideology, but it's truly snideology. Just being
Nice.
snide. Okay, but then, Scott, explain gay voice.
Explain it to me. I don't get it.
Because
No,
I've
explain it to
met
me, 'cause
gay men in
you two know what
India
this is.
who have gay voice.
Explain it to me.
I've met gay men in Uzbekistan who have gay voice.
I don't get it.
What is gay voice?
Gay voice is when you talk to a man, you know he's gay because he sounds it. There's a way of saying
It is weird.
There's an accent, an affectation.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something I recognise. I do.
Yeah.
I guess
like,
it's sort
You'll
of
probably
like,
call it camp. You'd say, oh, they sounded
yes,
camp.
they sound camp.
But you
Yeah.
can have a camp Scouser, you can have a camp Mancunian, a Geordie. Doesn't matter what their accent
Camp
is.
American.
Camp Americans. And I've met people from all over the world who are gay
Who are
and
camp.
sound camp in their own. You know, when they speak English, they sound camp.
Yeah, and you'll be surprised, because like, even people like myself who maybe don't sound that much camp. I mean, but when we get together, everyone gets like that. Girl, oh bitch, that's not true. You know that's not true, honey. You know, we start talking in that sort of like that sort of affected manner.
Right.
I guess you can almost describe that as how people of color can sometimes talk to each other.
Yeah, maybe.
So
Yeah.
in a way that white people don't talk to each other, right? That, you know, so I guess it's I don't get it in the sense of what is gay voice, because even if you do talk like to the campus guy, you can meet some guys who are really camp who are not gay.
I know that's always
That's always throws your
never
mind.
make the assumption, people. Never make the assumption.
Yeah. Well, there's a guy at work. I work with a guy who, the moment I met him, I was like, oh, another homosexual. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then I work with his best from work friend. I was like, well, you know, Dave is gay, obviously. And she went, is he? And I went, are you fucking serious? He wanted me up, right? She's like, he's never said that he's not. I said, he doesn't have to. Because talk to him for 5 minutes.
Well,
you know.
Scott,
The purse falls out of his mouth.
Scott in the chat saying I've known people who've come out as gay and then gain the gay voice. I do as well.
They pick it up.
Yeah.
And I think they pick it up through actually hanging out with other gay people. Just kind of like how I pick up English ways of saying things, British accent ways of saying
Sure.
things when I'm American.
Yeah.
So I think it's the same sort of thing. It's just sort of maybe culturally.
It's a cultural,
It's a cultural thing, because obviously, I mean, if you look back at the 60s and 70s in England, gay people had their own language called Polari. So that and there's actually still words today that are taken from Polari that we still use. But yeah, not just gay people.
Was there a code something to do with Auntie Dorothy? A friend of Dorothy's.
Friend of Dorothy was a
Friend of
way
Dorothy,
say
yeah.
gay person, yes. Yeah, but it was a whole other language that
Good with colours.
yeah
Chromatically adept. Knows what's in his flower beds.
if you listen to things like we mentioned Kenneth Williams earlier,
Yeah.
and his old sort of like around the horn sort of
Oh yeah,
comedies, that was all Polari.
Oh hello, yeah.
Yes.
That's exactly.
Where he would hello.
And he had a male partner, didn't he?
Yes,
There were
it
two.
was-
There were,
I
I
can't-
can't remember who
him
played
and,
the other guy.
Sorry, I by the way, I should have. Everyone was talking before. I think it was when Rachel was talking about how she's been affected by the anti-trans crusade that's going on at the moment. I didn't want to interrupt, but earlier when I read out the super chat and I said slowly and then all at once, and I said, "Oh, that's Steinbeck." No, it's Hemingway, and it is Hemingway from Fiesta or The Sun Also Rises. So I just want to say to everyone watching this, I was wrong and I accept responsibility. I am so sorry that I fucked up that quote. So if you want to kick me off the pub quiz team, that is entirely you've got justification to do so.
You've let me down there.
I know, I've let myself down.
The encyclopedia of cultural quotes.
Like the inflatable boy in the inflatable school. I've let the school down, I've let myself down.
I can never trust you again.
I know.
So,
and it was a Hemingway quote as well. I fucking love Hemingway. Shit. It's like getting a Star Wars quote and a Star Trek quote mixed up.
Right. So just quickly, as Graham was doing his correction, so I looked it up. So Kenneth Williams used to do a show called Around the Horn, and they had characters who were called Julian and Sandy.
That's it, Julian and Sandy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and they would say, they would talk a lot of it in Polari. So it would be Bona Tavada Dalio Eek, which would mean nice to see your pretty old face. So it was Bona was like good. And like they had loads of different words for things. So like a Polari Pipes was a telephone, an Omi Polone was a gay man, a Polone Omis was a lesbian. Just
amazing
things like that.
Kenneth Williams had a problem with his
people and
homosexuality,
theater people.
didn't he?
Sorry?
Kenneth Williams sort of had a problem with his homosexuality, didn't he? For a lot of his life.
He wasn't very proud of it, if I'm not
Well, I'm not surprised in the society.
Well, it was illegal. It's illegal, yeah.
Back in his day, yeah, it was a big deal. But I think his love life was very sort of it wasn't of a normal. I don't think
there was a lot of love.
I think he was very lonely, and he used to just go and get sexual satisfaction abroad.
Yeah.
It'd be fucking brilliant to do a movie and shoot it in Polari and have subtitles.
There is a video online you can go watch. There's a 10-minute mini, like a conversation between two gay men talking Polari in a park.
Talking about gay men in a park, here's Wayne.
The
Hey!
Have you shaved? You look very clean shaven.
It does. You're on mute.
You're muted, bro.
You're muted. We can't see you very well either.
There you go. There you go.
Light on.
Right, to be fair, I'm trying to be as incognito as I can because I'm actually at work, as you well know.
Are you like a secret milkman?
Are you a
Does
secret
nobody
Wayne?
know? Nobody knows you're a milkman.
I'm like the milk tray man.
You look
You're
so
just
much
delivering
younger.
milk.
You look so much younger.
Yeah, it's
You
amazing
look
what lighting
different.
will do for you.
You look completely different.
How's it going? What time are you in work till tonight?
Until I put my last pint down, so probably about 5 this morning.
Oh bloody fuck! Okay, and then do you get to sleep all day?
And trust me, it's proper muggy out here as well. Like really.
Yeah.
Like I've got all the windows done up now because there's loads of background noise where I am. But oh my god, I am sweating like mad, and it's like nearly midnight.
It's because there's a big ass storm coming.
Yeah, I'll bring it
piss
the
it
fuck
down
on.
tomorrow. Huh?
Bring it the fuck on. I need it.
Yeah, but that's why it's so muggy. It's because there's a big old storm brewing.
Yeah, so I thought I'd come in quickly just to
You can come in quickly wherever you want.
Oh, there it is. Again,
Talking of Kenneth Williams.
jokes.
Go on.
Oh god, that's a Julian and Sandy sketch.
I listened to it. I thought it was quite funny. But yeah, go on.
By the way, Graham, are you not making Aid's dad jealous by flirting with Scott as much as you are?
That's why I do it.
That's a good point.
Aid's dad loves it when I flirt with Scott.
If he only knew the shit we say about
He'd be mortified.
Right.
I think.
Our
The
group
things
chat's
that
getting
he
all
says about him.
cancelled.
Cancelled. I think Abe would be over his knee getting whipped. Like,
Should I?
Wait
I
a
wanna-
minute.
yeah,
I
text-
came out all wrong.
Should I be in this chat? Who added me to this chat group?
Yeah, like what is going
What is
on?
going on? Question for Lad Sanity. Thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Question for Scott. In the gay community, is the term robust used as a polite way to describe a gay passing straight guy?
No.
No.
Never
There you
heard
go,
of it.
question for Lad Sanity. Thanks for the super chat.
I'm not trying to be rude. I've never heard that before.
No, a straight. A gay passing straight guy. So is that someone who people think is gay but is actually straight?
Yeah, I've never heard of that. Sorry.
You've never heard of that? Have you seen Graham?
I don't know if it passes either.
I have heard.
To be honest with you,
Trust me, I've heard from them all on my grinder. Okay, Mrs. I'm married. Come over in the morning when you can. What are you free at 10 a.m.? My wife will be gone by then.
Wow.
No, I have a job. I earn a living.
And
Like,
that,
what the
and that's
fuck are
the
you
only
doing
and
all
that's the
day?
only reason you won't break up. a
Literally
marriage,
the only
isn't
reason
it?
I'm not showing up.
What I love now about this
coin.
about this podcast is that we've now got a mobile unit out on the road in Essex looking for riots.
yeah. Have you seen any riots?
You seen
Right.
any of
Do you
that
know
shit?
what? To be fair,
You don't
I'm
go
not
to
that
Epping,
far
do you?
away from Epping.
Really?
Swap out some of the milk bottles for Molotov cocktails and join in.
Yes.
What do you think I'm doing, mate? I'm
Confuse the
loaded up.
shit
Rub
out of them.
chocolate milk at them. Turn them
I'm
brown.
literally round the corner from just down there is a petrol station. I've got a load of empties on the back. I'm ready to go.
Set to go, mate.
Listen to filling up empty milk bottles full of
Wayne, you're
petrol.
supposed to be reporting on it, not fucking starting it.
Not literally
Oh, no,
committing
I'm-
yourself either.
I'm being one of them, the conspiracy theories where they said they was leaving loads of bricks by the BLM like protesters.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
I'm basically being one of them.
You're doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
This is my bit for society.
So I was just reading up about Polari. There's words that have entered the mainstream slang include AC/DC, Barney, Blag, Butch, Camp, Kazi, Cottaging, Hoofer, Mince, Ogle, Scarpa, Slap, Strides, Todd, and Rough Trade.
Wow.
Half of that sounds Cockney rhyming slang.
Yeah,
it is.
incorporated
Well,
Cockney rhyme slang.
Polari is sort of a bastardization of Cockney by the
Wow.
homosexuals.
So why cottaging for picking up men in a park in the public toilets?
In the public toilets, cottaging, because they all used to look like cottages. Remember back in the day, they all used to look like little cottages in the park.
They cut it, I suppose. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, no, they
Makes
did.
sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, Alec Guinness was picked up for cottaging.
Cottaging?
Yeah, yeah.
You know
and,
who else was? You'll never guess. George Michael.
oh, yeah, I know George Michael was. But
Yeah.
Alec Guinness was picked up in 1947, I think it was, opposite the Royal Court. If you ever go to St. John's Garden, there's an old toilet that's underneath the gardens.
Old
It's
cottage.
inaccessible now. But I do think there should be a blue plaque there to commemorate the fact that
The
Are you
arrest
telling
Alec Guinness
me that
was
Obi-Wan
arrested.
Kenobi was a gay man?
he was a gay man, yeah. He was married because it was illegal at the time, but he was arrested in 1947 for committing a lewd act. Although this was denied in later biographies about him. So, it's a bit of illegal, it's a bit of a grey area. But apparently he was
So was
fined.
his sexuality.
He was fined, 10 shillings and tuppence or something.
I can't believe such a renowned thespian was a gay man in hiding. It's shocking.
I know.
Tim,
Next will be saying Rock Hudson was gay. Could you believe it?
Next, you'll be telling me
Yeah, really.
Anthony Daniels, C-3PO himself, didn't like a bit of R2-D2.
it's really interesting. Scott, have you ever sort of looked into the gay coding in the golden era of Hollywood, like all of the gay characters in because they couldn't obviously be expressly gay, but
I haven't deep dived, but I've seen
there's
it.
some wonderful deep dives into it because it's such a fascinating thing because there were so many gay men working in Hollywood in the 50s and they all had to keep it secret. So they had a code that they all understood except for the censors. And it was a mad time because back then, if you had like a mixed couple, man and a woman, in a bedroom scene, they had to keep they both had to keep one foot on the floor. You know, like they're playing snooker. They had all these like mad rules for the Hays Code. It was, right. And it's kind of wonderful to look back over these films and see how the gay community absolutely upended the Hays Code by using this kind of like ultra high frequency of debauchery that they just couldn't understand. Hello, it's Hannah. How you doing, Hannah?
Sorry, I said I wasn't going to do this because I got in so late from work today, but I was like, oh, it's nice and quiet. Like, this would be really chill. Hi, everyone.
Hello, Hannah. How you doing? It's so good.
Hannah, you got in late from work. I'm at work.
Wayne's skiving from work. Good job this isn't going out live on the internet for your employers to see.
Sure. It's all right. No one in my work watches anything to do with politics.
Oh, good. Tim Ballon, £5 super chat. Graham, send this to Wayne to put some pennies in the meter. No, he's incognito.
He won't be sending that like the £20 earlier. He won't be sending that.
Look, we'll all meet up. We'll all meet up at Smashing Pumpkins, and
we've all got.
Yes.
We're all keeping a spreadsheet of the amount of money you're going to have to hand out.
Yes, please do, and I'll buy you all drinks. There you go.
No, you won't. You'll get us tap water, and we'll like it.
Okay, I'll get you tap water. You bloody like it. It doesn't have to be alcoholic drinks. I could get you something nice.
Hannah, what brings you in to discuss gay coding? Is that why you're here?
I don't really know. Like, so I'm a little bit wavy on the straight line, but I think women's experiences are very different. And also, like, so my male partner put me on the census as bi, but I'd never really like registered that. I was just like, I like who I like. I don't tend to label that. I guess I have a preference for men. But as far as like being queer,
so do I.
Gay, like
giggity.
Scott, you didn't need to tell us.
Really, Scott? Oh my God!
Scott, you kept that quiet.
It's not a revelation.
Quiet.
Wow, should we have a coming out party for Scott?
I'm shocked, I tell you.
I'm coming out. I want the world.
I've come over all unnecessary.
So your partner putting you down as bi? I mean, that's interesting.
Yeah, well, because obviously, like when you're with partners, you share whatever experiences you had, and I would date women. I just have a preference for men, but I have slept with women, so I don't know where the line is. I'm just like, a person is a person. If I think you're really attractive, I do think women are beautiful, and you know, I don't know. But as far as like gay coding goes, I work in the fashion industry. Come across a lot of gays. But
so does Scott.
Yeah.
Literally.
But I didn't know there was I don't know all the lingo for it.
Well, see, back in we were talking obviously about the old, dead sort of Polari language, which was the theater sort of gay language, and Graham had recently just read off a whole list of those words that came into the mainstream that we all say on a regular basis, and like cottage and Scarborough and naff and things like that. But in regards to the gay coding, Graham was teaching me about that in regards to Hollywood and the films that were made. And it sounds almost very similar. Instead of through talking more, that sounds like a celluloid way of talking to other gay people incognito. Because that was what Polari was about. Polari was being able to talk about gay shit, but no one would understand that you were talking about gay shit.
Or people attacking you.
Yes.
But the wonderful thing was that all the gay community would know that it was gay. And the people who weren't part of the community wouldn't get it at all. They'd just be going, oh, yes, they're two male friends who just like to, get naked and wrestle. Family pursuits,
Yeah.
Mates just being flatmates for 25 years.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that was very popular in the
Yeah.
80s, wasn't it?
Well,
the two lady flatmates who've been living together for 30 years.
So
Yeah,
Can I just real quickly, Graham?
Yeah.
Ruth is just going to bed, and said she's pleased and relieved at my good news, and that's really nice of you to say. Thank you, Ruth. Good night.
Yes, we
Sleep
do.
well.
We are very happy.
Sorry,
Mike's
Mike, I
thumb
didn't
is
say
well.
that's so amazing to hear.
Yeah, it's great.
Like,
news.
I've cured cancer, Hannah, like single-handedly.
Amazing.
It's good news.
Mike,
isn't it?
I did tell you you'd walk it off.
You did. Well, you kept telling me to stop fucking going on about it, as I remember. Wayne, basically.
No, just stop fucking. That's what you need to stop
That was
doing.
it.
Anyway, guys, I'm going to have to go because I do actually have to do my job of work.
Oh,
Well,
mate,
you don't
I'm
do
so
that.
sorry.
I did my day's work.
I'm
Oh,
Milk Santa.
get you
I'm
in the
bringing-
I've
I'm
got a
bringing
real
it
job.
to everyone's
important.
breakfast.
I'm a milkman.
Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Wayne.
Wayne. Nice
You're
to
a
see you,
It's been a
mate.
pleasure. I will be in chat, so don't start mugging me off when I'm not out, all right?
Don't worry, we
No,
mug
we
you
will
up
soon
anyway.
never
We won't do
dream.
that.
We'd
would
never
dream
dream of
of
that.
Face.
Thank you,
Love
Wayne.
you, mate.
All right. Love you all.
Bye.
Now, fuck off, you bunch of mugs.
He's such a nice chap. He's such a nice.
Has he gone yet?
Yeah.
What a wanker.
too soon. Too soon.
Right.
Yeah, I was going to say about the in the movie Spartacus, right? There was a scene in which
you see the recent Spartacus? There was
no.
no code in that.
well, in the 1960 version, there was a code, and there was a scene where Marcus Crassus, played by Laurence Olivier, is talking to Antonius, and he talks about his preference for I think it's snails rather than oysters, and he talks about it being like it's just a preference. I prefer this. I prefer to eat this over this. And that was picked up by the code, the fucking Legion of Decency or whatever the fuck they called themselves. And the scene was recut. I think they reshot it, but it was actually restored in the 1991 version. And they got Anthony Hopkins to redub the voice of Laurence Olivier because he could do a really good Laurence Olivier impression. They'd lost the original sound to the scene, but they still had the visuals for it. So it's actually Anthony Hopkins doing an impression.
Oh, God.
But yeah, it was a bit too obvious. Even the censors picked that one up. They're like, oh, so it's all about your preference, is it? And one preference isn't necessarily better than the other. Ooh, you're encouraging people to be gay, aren't you? And they're like, no, we're not doing that. But they were. They were totally. And Spartacus was written by Trumbo, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't believe you. Sorry.
What?
After your earlier complete cock up on cultural references with
who
American
wrote what?
writers. Sorry, you could just be making it all up for all
I
we know,
could
mate.
be. I could be.
It's hyper-normalization.
No, I saw there's a movie called Trumbo about Donald Trumbo. Dalton Trumbo, who was a scriptwriter in the 1950s.
Yeah, it's a very good film, actually.
Who was kicked out of the Writers Guild of America and blacklisted for being a commie. And he wrote Spartacus, but he couldn't have his name on the credits. And I think Stanley Kubrick, when he directed it, he said, no, I'm going to put his name on the credits. Fuck yous all. And he did it. Put his name on the credits. And everyone said, you can't
Stanley
do
Kubrick
that.
filmed that.
Yeah, Stanley Kubrick did the original Spartacus.
Oh, I did not know.
It's a big studio film. And after that, everyone's like, you could do whatever you like. And he went, I'm going to do some really mad shit.
Cool.
now."
2001.
I'm off to do
Eyes
some
wide
mad
shut.
shit.
Figure out what that's about.
Yeah, Trumbo's a good film. It's got thingy from Breaking Bad, Malcolm in the Middle, Bryan Cranston. It's got Bryan Cranston,
Nice.
who I like. Anyway, Hannah, have you got any news stories this week that you've gone, oh my god, or you want to talk about in some way?
Lots of. I don't know whether you covered it because I
You
came
might
in
have
late.
done, but you can give a different angle on it.
Very fucking late from work today. Epstein files.
Oh, yeah.
Covered that? Probably because I don't know how you can't fucking cover that. Also, I just, as a preface to this, I am so fucking fed up as a 32-year-old woman who was always, I'm nearly 5'11", so I'm not tiny. I've been 5'9" since I was 10 years old. I've always looked older. I did everything first, and it was a little bit shit. Now I'm like, oh, this is quite nice being tall, whatever. But hearing and seeing and watching headlines talking about underage women.
Yes. You mean children?
Children.
Children. The word's children. But we do this all the time. We sanitize it. We say child abuse. We don't say child rape.
Yes.
This is the major. Obviously, it's all really fucking pissing me off because this is blindingly obvious. I'm sorry. We have all the pictures. Release the fucking files. If you're not releasing the files, if I was a paedophile and if I was the president of the United States and this was coming out against me and I'd had a few pictures at a party that I coincidentally did this before I knew he was a fucking pedo or did anything awful and he'd killed himself, whatever. The first thing I would do if I was innocent was release the fucking files.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I know. It's almost as if common sense has gone out the fucking window in America.
I know. It's almost like putting a rapist as the United States president.
Yep.
And then
What's
wondering
going on?
maybe if he's a pedophile or not.
Yeah.
Even though the truth could be quite similar together.
The thing is, Han, like, I think that if he does release it all, and there's a big bunch of stuff saying that he's a massive nonce, like Trump is a massive nonce,
Always.
he's going to point
You
at
wonder
that
if
and
he'd
say,
impeach.
that's the fake bit. That's the fake news.
Oh,
You
he is,
can't
definitely.
believe that bit. And they'll be like, oh, thank you for telling us which bit of this to believe.
Of course, it's a vendetta against Trump.
Yeah,
He's definitely going to do
that was just put
He's
in
been
there by the
laying-
Democrats.
laying the ground all week this week.
Obama
Put in
put
there,
that in there.
Obama put that in there to make him look bad.
Hannah, Graham thinks,
it.
and in fact, Graham and Scott both think that he's going to survive this story. And me and Rachel thought that actually this one will run and run for quite a while, and it will get him in the end. Basically.
What I've seen, the difference is to me that I've seen a lot more MAGA supporters say this is the limit for them. So the racism wasn't the limit.
No, I know.
No.
They're dying because you've like scrapped Roe v. Wade. That's not the limit. Like, forget about your wives and daughters because you're.
What about the insurrection? What about the insurrection against the government?
Yeah, like, God forbid. Like,
But I think there's a lot of the QAnon element of all of this is the conspiracy theories that Democrats are fucking kids all over the world and draining their blood and whatever. Basically, that's what they brought into that, and they saw Trump as the president that would deal with that.
Yeah.
And I think that's where their betrayal is coming in, and that's a powerful emotion in politics. Is that if you feel that you've been betrayed, look at us with this transition and Labour and the way we're struggling with it at the moment. To just go, we feel betrayed by the Labour Party. In a way.
She is struggling. This is not the fucking Labour I voted for. You were a human rights lawyer, and sorry, excuse you.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on? Yeah. It's
Now he's
and
a
I think
human
it's just-
wrongs politician.
And I think that's what's going to happen with Trump. I think it's a more simple argument, but his base have brought into this conspiracy. I think the only thing he can do that could get around it is to reveal that the moon landings never happened and provide the evidence for that. And then that will distract everybody off.
Because I feel like it was quite interesting to me this week that they released some of his health information that wasn't really awful health information, but that awful enough that people were like, his fucking legs are swollen. I mean, he flies all the time. He's is he 80? He's hurtling towards that, or he's just over it. The bruises on hands. He's been a bit wobbly. We know he wears like the fucking heels anyway. There's lots of conspiracies around his health regardless. I'm hoping he will die on a cheeseburger at some point. We're all thinking it, and I'll say it out loud. However, it was very interesting to me that they'd been so protective of his health, his taxes, all of those things. And for Caroline Leavitt to release that information quite confidently was not great information either. I felt like was a massive distraction, like a distraction this week.
Yeah.
Because
That's what I was saying earlier. I think he's just,
was-
it's becoming incredibly transparent what his method is.
yeah,
And MAGA are starting to see that now. We've seen it for ages, but MAGA are starting to see that, yeah, hang on, this guy is
Well,
just
he's-
lying to
this
me
guy keeps
and
distracting
deflecting.
us with stuff.
Yeah.
What do you
yeah.
mean? Like, where's the Epstein file? We don't care about that. Where are the Epstein files? You know, the only thing that everybody else has been doing for the last fucking 8 years. You know, and now they finally realize. I don't even feel sorry for them. Fuck them. I hope they're disappointed. I hope they go jump off a fucking bridge because they're so upset. Fuck them. Stupid idiots that have gotten us all into shit because they had to believe a con artist.
Do you know what I think though?
it.
Like
Over it.
about this sort of, I see this as his party gate. So I see it as something that will damage his brand, no doubt about it, and some people won't come back from it.
it
But don't
has done-
forget that Donald, what's his name, Boris Johnson didn't get kicked out the party because of Partygate.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Wrote it out.
But there was a final straw.
Yeah,
that-
there was a
that,
final straw, and that might happen with
Partygate
Trump.
led to. Yeah,
I
you're
just
right.
don't think that this will be it because
There have to be some
they're making
Republican
excuses for him already.
Christians left who
Yeah.
are just going to. This is just too much. We've just got to the point now that this is too much for them. But-
Bruno Genius wants to talk about something else, so we will for a moment. Bruno, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Did you see the cheating CEO at the Coldplay gig?
Brilliant!
I mean, this
Yeah.
is
brilliant.
story of the week.
Everything about that was perfect.
And it's just so funny because of all the memes that instantly came out and went, oh my God, if my husband did that to me, I'd be devastated, going to a Coldplay
a
gig.
Coldplay gig.
funnier was that Chris Martin, when they panned and they died down, he went, oh my God. Like, he actually commentated, like, is he having an affair? And he fucking was. That's the worst part, was like, it was so blindingly obvious that even Chris Martin from Coldplay, who was watching this live, saw them duck down and hide faces, went, is he having an affair or something? As obviously just like an off the cuff comment. But he fucking
He was.
But did you see his company put out a tweet saying
no.
they actually lent into the joke Graham just told about I have to admit something terrible and it was awful for my wife to find out live on television that I'm a Coldplay fan, basically. And you think, no, you're not going to get away with that, dude.
No, you're
it's not going to work for you.
No,
Yeah, that wouldn't work for me.
sorry.
No.
Like,
And I would straight up divorce you purely for being a Coldplay band. Like, it's over for being a secret Coldplay.
And she's the
That is
human resources.
a betrayal of some disgusting
Also,
horribleness.
We're being slightly genderist here as well because she's married as well.
Yes.
is she?
Bear with me,
She's
I forget
she's
that.
also having an affair. She's the HR director of the company, and she's
Well,
married as well. basically.
The HR doesn't help her. That's
No,
twice as bad as far as I'm concerned, because you should know the rules. But
you would have thought.
like, not good on either party. You are responsible for your marriage, and you've both fucked that up. Very public.
Big time. Yeah.
And plus the Coldplay gig. I mean, but the memes have been fast and furious. There've been memes where it's had Trump and Epstein appearing on the
Yeah,
Jumbotron.
I love
There was one I saw before of Obi-Wan and Padme appearing on the Jumbotron. I mean, this is, I mean, when like the internet is funny, even if this is like,
yeah, absolutely.
This is what I want the internet for. I want it to be just taking the piss and having a good time, and even when things are a bit shit, just But unfortunately, there's just a lot of shit going on. But Liebchen wants Han to know that Liebchen loves her posters, so your posters are loved.
Oh, thank
There
you.
I
So-
love them as well.
Can I tell you what they are?
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
So there's so let's just twist. Mentally ill but totally chill.
Nice.
Well, that didn't go as fucking planned. And then we have, what kind of fuckery is this?
Perfect.
That's so good.
Thank you.
Very good.
Round of applause for Hannah's pictures on the wall. Have you ever had like a priest or a vicar come round and just been staring at them and just been like, having the
They flip them
cup of tea.
over, and there's pictures of the Mother Mary, Jesus, and the Holy Ghost.
What do you do when the in-laws come round?
Young kids who can read come into my house because I'm not like a godmother, like I'm a guide auntie because they didn't do the religious thing. So my oldest, like I'm the auntie to, is 12, and it's my best friend's kiddo. She can read now, so she knows, but she also knows she can't say the words. But I know she's reading them and thinking that's very funny.
Oh, brilliant. Just had the cat distraction, says Pete in the chat. Trump invested heavily in alligator-powered golf carts. Oh, God, yeah. They've set up a camp, haven't they, in bloody, what's it, Alligator Alcatraz?
Yeah.
Set up in Florida.
People are taking their children to the
Go see it.
for it
Yeah.
to take a picture by that sign. This is effectively a concentration camp. And that's not me being like a conspiracy like weirdo.
No, it is.
No, it is.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Are awful.
But you know where else is a camp that they want to put people in? They want to concentrate the people in the camp in Gaza by Rafah. That's the plan. Now, we can't use the words that I just used the other way around because that would be culturally insensitive.
Yeah.
But that's what it fucking is.
That's exactly what it is.
Fuck.
And in the same way, Hannah, people in Israel going to look at Gaza being bombed from the border, basically taking the kids to see that.
Little telescopes and but they've all got binoculars and things. I'm sorry, I'm more and more disillusioned with the government that we have. Bearing in mind, our Prime Minister has a human rights lawyer background.
Yeah.
We can all see what is happening. And we saw it months ago. I'm quite a big fan of like The Rest is Politics. I don't know if you watch it.
Yeah. I do.
Well, obviously,
We're all nerds here. It's fun.
Only in the last couple of weeks have they sort of skirted around. I think this is unforgivable now. I'm sorry, it's been quite unforgivable for a very fucking long time.
Yeah.
And this should be obvious to you, Alistair Campbell. Sorry, in particular, from the get-go.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to, just because our government's following this line. No, I'm sorry. That if they fit the categories and people who are scholars in genocide, ethnic cleansing are telling you this is my lifelong works and this is what is happening, and we can also see, we're not seeing a lot on the BBC, by the way, very fucking interesting to me, but we know why that's happening, don't we? Because the bigwigs are Jewish. It's very frustrating to me that criticising what is very clearly, factually, categorically a genocide and ethnic cleansing now is being anti-Semitic. To me, that therefore conflates Judaism, which is a peaceful and loving religion, with a genocide. And that is absolutely not what we are saying. And you should, it's
well, and it's the flip side of that is the way that Islam is treated the same way, that it is a terrorist religion, and it's not. It's a peaceful religion for most people.
No, but it is, again, it's the whole Islamophobia, because we had 9/11 and whatever followed, and Daily Mail, big culprit, Sun, the big culprit, Mirror, big culprit, and I feel like that feeds into immigration, and also brown people. Sorry, like, our country is built on diversity, and that's beautiful when it's culturally different, and we, our national dish is tikka masala. Sorry, you can't pick and choose. Like, people don't put their children on boats for the fun of it. This is desperation, and illegals aren't really illegal because they're seeking asylum. Sorry, no one does these things. I'm always very angry. Sorry, angry feminist. But especially angry this year, I think. This has got to the worst point, and especially angry about Keir Starmer. Especially angry about that. I would never have voted any other way, because my fucking MP is Kit Malthouse. So, sort of Hampshire, like Winchester area. I need to, I have no other choice. However, this is not the fucking Labour that I voted for
Right.
at all.
I think there's a lot of people feeling that way about the way Labour have handled a lot of this. And look, I understand there is a level of, diplomacy that they have to employ. But
Of
at the
course.
same time, like when something is as blatant as this, and be consistent, that Labour and, news organizations are very quick to point out that it's completely wrong of Russia to go and invade Ukraine, but they're not so fast to say it about Israel invading Gaza. Like, there's more justification. Yes, I get that. The Ukraine did nothing to Russia. Russia's claimed there were Nazis there and had to save the Ukrainian people from the Nazis by bombing them. Okay, so you could argue that there was more of a justification, and some of the hostages that Hamas took still haven't been returned. But they haven't been returned, I think, because of the actions of Netanyahu. Netanyahu's been an absolute fucking arsehole about all this, and he has endangered and there's members of the families of people who were kidnapped who are freaking out at Netanyahu, going, "This is completely out of order. What you're doing here."
It has completely and utterly superseded the right to defend itself at this point. And I feel like, and forgive me if this is going to come, not in the right way, but I feel like Netanyahu in particular is using this Jewish, we had the Holocaust shield of anti-Semitism as a point to almost claim that they can't possibly be committing a genocide. And actually, facts are facts, numbers are numbers. What you have done, cutting off the water, cutting off the electricity, everything is sealed off, army in, aid not being... These are categorically the things that stamp this is a fucking genocide. So to be calling that anti-Semitic, and also not to be differentiating that between what the majority of the Jewish people feel, which is a peaceful, loving, it's a peaceful, loving religion, to be conflating the two is more anti-Semitic to me than it is to make that connection. I think it's awful. And a lot of Jewish people have been coming out and saying, this is not what I want. You can't continue to take...
It does become increasingly difficult for anybody to defend it from that religion. And, I don't know what the outcome of this is, because ultimately it all boils down to America's attitude to it, doesn't it, in the end, basically?
Absolutely. And I feel like, obviously, apparently Israel's our ally, but I feel like we are so buddy-buddy with the US, despite everything he fucking does to undermine everything economically, whatever.
You have to start asking, is Keir in the Epstein files?
Yeah.
I don't see that. I mean, there's a couple of things here. First of all, with the Trump thing, if I was in Keir Starmer's position, I would fucking hate it for a start, but I'd do the same thing. Because I tell you what, if our economy takes any more fucking hits after 14 years of Tory austerity, Brexit, COVID, fucking Truss, the idea that we say to one of our biggest trading partners in the world, fuck off, we hate yous, then that's going to put our economy in the shit. And as soon as our economy goes really into the shit, what happens is millions of people are plunged into poverty in this country. And I don't want to see that. As far as Israel's concerned, if we were still in Europe, if we were still in the fucking EU, we could be leading the EU on targeted sanctions against Israel. But the EU is too timid to act, with just France and Germany driving it. They won't do anything. And us doing stuff on our own isn't going to make much of a difference, to be honest with you, because we're not that big a player. And so,
and just to be
so
fair on that front as well, the EU is kind of focused on Ukraine, quite rightly, to an extent.
Fair, isn't it?
But that doesn't mean they can't put the pins on Israel. This week they had a vote, and to say, look, we've got to bring some sanctions against Israel, some targeted sanctions. This isn't just a complete shutdown of trade. It's just looking at industries that might be, helping the genocide and saying, right, we're going to stop supplying that stuff now.
It's
And
the F-35 parts, isn't it? Like, that's
Yeah.
what did it for me. And was it Palestine Action as well? I'm sorry, if you're going to categorize them as a terrorist group akin with Al-Qaeda, those kind of players, that's not acceptable, because what they were doing was disruption, peaceful, unharmful disruption. It was organizational disruption.
I mean, to be fair, raiding an RAF base, you are running into people with guns, and that's.
I mean, fair comment.
They might have pushed the limit a little bit there, basically.
But also, I'll tell you who didn't get into trouble about that: the person running the fucking base. So you allow a couple of hippies to turn up on a fucking scooter in your top secret fucking RAF base that's got this equipment on that's worth billions. No heads roll. Are you kidding me? Because we just had this week the big super injunction has been lifted, and we found out that the names and addresses of over 18,000 Afghans who helped the Allied forces over the last 20 years of the Taliban, fighting against the Taliban. They were all released, along with 100 fucking people working for MI6.
Did you notice, though, that the way that ran, because the news agents and I think somebody at The Independent and somebody at the Times got hold of the story while the super injunction was in place, and they were brought into court to talk about it. I don't know if you saw Lewis Goodall's really good run through of what happened. He found that story 12, 18 months ago and has had to sit on it because the court has made him sit on it for all that time. But the story didn't play in other papers, which you can sort of understand because of journalistic rivalry, etc. in the first day, until it was revealed that a lot of British spies and agents were on that list as well. And then suddenly it's in the papers. Yeah. And isn't it telling that 18,000 Afghan lives are not worth the same as 2 James Bonds that were also on the list, basically?
Well, and also the tabloids, the disgusting tabloids, they were saying, they were making a big fuss about the fact that we had quite rightly brought these Afghans over secretly and spent a lot of money doing it because we had fucked up. And that was the right thing to do. Honestly, I think the super injunction was the right thing to do at the time. I don't think it's the right thing to do now. And I saw some people blaming the Labour government, saying, "Oh, what are they doing lifting this injunction?" They didn't lift it. The judge lifted the injunction. In fact, the Tories, when they put in for the original injunction, it was just an injunction. It wasn't a super injunction, and it was the judge that made it that, because he said, "Look, we've got to have a situation where we can get as many of these people out as possible." And actually, it in the long run, it's actually helped a lot of Afghans get over here, because some of us were complaining and saying, "I thought you were going to get all the Afghans out. Why aren't you helping them get out?" And they secretly were. They just couldn't tell anyone. They were coming across in unmarked planes, like completely white planes that were bringing thousands of Afghans and their families over, or Afghanis. And yeah, I mean, just the whole story, though, that you could have that many names on a fucking spreadsheet, and an unencrypted spreadsheet, and accidentally send it in an email. I mean, how is Britain so incompetent?
These are the incompetent stories about government, rather than the super conspiracies involving 10,000 people covering up lies, etc. Do you remember during COVID where they got to the limit of the spreadsheet to record the data about
65,000.
Excel just stopped working, and they went, "Oh fuck, we can't do this anymore." And you go, "Really? You're doing it on Excel? What is wrong with you humans?"
That's top secret information that could lead to the deaths of many people. It shouldn't be all in one place. It shouldn't be all on one, spreadsheet that's easily read by any spreadsheet program. It should be in a bespoke, encrypted format that only the higher echelons of the military with this particular program can read that particular type of file. But
a small team of hackers in New York who can sit there and a darkened room hacking the government system.
It goes back to my biggest complaint about growing up, is that when you're a kid, you think that the adults know what they're doing, and then you grow up and you're like, don't. Fuck, everyone's making it up as they go along. Shit, I thought it was just me.
bit late to bring up this news story, but the voting at 16 thing has been
Yes.
hilarious to watch the arguments on social media about that.
What's the
How do we-
argument
Jada Begum,
against?
She knew exactly what she was doing when she was 14 years old. And she
Good
was going
point.
to be
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, and also they've got this story about this 12-year-old girl that went to school dressed as
the Union Jack
Spice Girl.
Jerry Halliwell,
in-
and she's going to be speaking tomorrow at Tommy
at
Robinson's
Tommy Robinson.
Yeah, it wasn't about the dress. It was about what she was going to say.
the
'Cause
speech.
they read
yeah,
the
exactly.
speech and went, no, you can't say that.
Yeah.
How do we
And-
feel about that?
Well, I think that's disgraceful that like her parents sent her in with a speech, which is clearly
Using her
problematic,
Porn.
using their little girl as a pawn.
She
And
really-
it wasn't about the dress. I swear, I tell you, when she goes and talks at that Nazi rally and says what her parents wanted to say, it's gotta be pretty grim.
No, because if I'd have seen that and I'd have had a conversation because that wasn't quite what we meant, and she'd have said, well, I'm wearing the British flag because it's not the English flag or the world flag or whatever. It's the British flag because it's full of diversity. And she'd explained about, masala and multiculturalism and things. I would have accepted that because that's an incredibly intelligent stance to take on it.
Yeah.
But
the
that was not
the small boats are ruining our lives, basically. That's not the
Yeah.
line that's going to work.
That's not why. That wasn't the reason behind it. And I feel like her parents have used her as a pawn. And also now, this is a minor that's giving a speech at a rally that has connotations like that.
Yeah.
And her face is all over social media. And I'm sure her parents will go, well, how old is she? Do we know how old she is?
12. She's 12.
12.
Well, she's 12. So technically you still can't, okay, you have cognitive ability, but technically you still actually can't consent to the wider
It's-
populations that you're being put out on.
On top of that, it goes down to your thing of saying that you were 5'9" at the age of 14, etc. This is about, in a way, if you think that she's wearing the Jerry Halliwell dress, the papers are loving the pictures of this 12-year-old girl in a mini dress.
Yes.
You know,
It's creepy.
So many.
They're sexualizing her at this point
Yeah,
as well.
it's creepy.
And
as
I've
fuck.
seen, I've seen the things on the Daily Mail, and I've seen, I don't like to, but I do for research purposes, as I'm sure you all do, read the things I don't want to read.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
And some of the comments are really fucking creepy. This is a 12-year-old, certainly, like, obviously you've now confirmed this is a 12-year-old, but for me it was like, I know she's a minor.
Yeah.
You're putting her out there as your public face. The parents are not the face of this. It's her. She might grow up in 10 years and think, fuck, I wish I'd never had that.
Just like those
I hope so.
little, Nazi folk singer girls, the Prussian Blue, back in the early 2000s, where they got these white power parents got these two little girls to sing about white power songs. I mean, they were terrible. They had no musical talent at all. But they put them on stages. These
But they
8 or 9-year-old little girls.
Louis Theroux did a thing about them, didn't he? And he went back to visit them, and they've now disowned their family completely against it. They've become complete, progressive politics. Basically, you've got to hope that this girl's going to go through her life and come out and realize what a pair of wankers her parents were, basically, to make you do this.
Even just exposing your minor child to that, even if they don't have access always to their social media, their friends will. Someone in their peer group will have access to that, and they will be able to access the comments some way, somehow. Because as much as you try as a parent, today's trying to go about that as a parent is so fucking hard. You can put all the child locks on. You can put all the, we don't do porn sites. We don't do this. You can only contact certain people. My goddaughter is 12 years old, and I'm one of her safe contacts. She has 6 people in there. They're all family members, and she has access to the internet, but it's very limited. My best friend gets a read up every day of what she's been on, the website she's been on. She can block them at any point. But you can do all of that, and still, when they go to school, they're in lunch break. If other parents aren't as careful, they still will have access to this. So at some point, she is probably going to come into contact with comments about herself, her
Hey,
appearance.
Hannah, it's guaranteed.
views.
She's already getting that.
Completely
Yeah.
guaranteed, is it not?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what was a bit mad this morning when I was doing the papers. A couple of the papers covered the fact that the Lionesses got into the semi-finals in quite an exciting way in the quarterfinals last night of the Euros. And it wasn't covered on the front cover of the Daily Telegraph, the Guardian. They had a picture of Rory McIlroy, who's a golfer, starting off the golf tournament, not getting to the final, not winning it, just he's at this thing. And I was just like, the sexism in our society. The Lionesses were asked a question about fucking Love Island in a press conference.
Oh my God.
And it was so cringy. I'll show you the footage of it. Like, they just look at each other and go, I don't know. They're like, oh, you're women, so I guess you like Love Island. Because they're about to play a football match in an international tournament. They're one of the best teams in the world.
Athletes.
They've
These
won the
women-
Euros. They got into the final of the
They got
World
into a
Cup.
penalty shootout to get to the final, and they won the penalty shootout.
Yes,
which
unlike
is
the men's
something
team.
the men's team
have
never been able to do.
Never done. No. What did you call it, mate? They just did auditions for pizza ads.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
For those of us who remember the 90s. Sorry, Hannah, you're a bit young.
93.
Oh,
God.
God. Oh.
Why did you come on? Why? I was having a big week, Hannah. I cured cancer this week. You just made me
That's
feel
the
like a
year I
bloody.
moved here. What was the year I moved here? What month?
May 13th, 1993.
Do you know that is my brother's birthday?
Is it?
Yes.
Wow.
They
Meant to
twist
be.
your brother.
Yeah, well, he's 17 years older than you, but yeah.
My boyfriend is 19 years older than me, so that's fine.
There you go. Yeah, no, that's my brother's birthday.
Oh, birthday twins. That's
Yeah, it's crazy. I
Taurus.
didn't know that.
There's a statistic, and I can't remember what it is. Somebody in the chat might know it. But if you go into a room with something like 34 people in it,
Mhm.
you are likely to find somebody with the same birthday as you.
Really?
Yeah.
It's it feels really weird that somebody has the same birthday as you, but the
Yeah,
likelihood is
really.
actually the statistics mean the probability means, and birth rates and when babies are conceived and stuff like that. It all means that actually it's more highly likely that you will find
It's
somebody
over.
in a
It's
small
over
group of people.
50%. It gets up to over 50% likelihood quite quick.
'Cause
Surprisingly quick.
yeah.
I've never met a birthday twin before, but I dated a guy for a year when I was about 18, and his birthday was the day before mine. So on his 18th birthday, we were going to, I can't remember the club now, but it was in Farringdon. And we had to wait till midnight before the bouncers would let me in, even though it was like,
Really?
going to be 18 in 12 minutes. Like, you just let us in. He was like, no.
Perfect.
Um,
On my 18th birthday, my brother took me to the pub with some friends, and my brother's 5 years older than me. And he said, "So I'm going to buy you your first legal drink," and they wouldn't serve him, but they did serve me.
oh no!
It's
Oh
okay.
man, that'd be so embarrassing. Oh,
Yeah.
but yeah, I've got a couple of super chats. Sorry, Alistair, I missed your super chat earlier, but I'll do it now. Forgive me. Daily Blase Friday Frolics had a good clip of Fantasy Island with Epstein, Trump. It was so funny. And then Stuart Galley, is it Galley? Thank you very much for the £10 super chat. Mike, you're some guy. I usually catch up with the show when I come home after last orders in Glasgow, so hoping I've caught thee live. So happy for you, mate. Love the rest of you too. So
Thanks,
Mike's had some good news this week, so we're all chuffed. We're coming down to Brighton again for a big party.
No, you'll give me cancer again.
No,
That's
we
what
won't. I
that's
promise
what-
not to give you cancer again after last time. That was just a one-off.
Yeah, of course.
I'll use protection this time. But no, we should have a fuck you cancer party.
We should absolutely.
We should
yeah.
absolutely do that.
Do a cake.
Yes.
I'm a good baker.
That would be lovely.
Let's have a
Yeah.
cancer cake. A bum cancer cake.
Yeah, it should definitely be shaped like a bum.
Yeah, and put the candle in the bum hole.
Right in the middle.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That was my Wednesday. That was exactly what
at least something good came out of it. Do you know what I mean? I'm sorry you had to go through that, mate. Because
yeah, the camera.
It's pretty fucking rough. Pretty fucking rough.
It's it's a good week.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Excellent. Has anyone got any good celebrity people that they share birthdays with?
Mine.
Please
the
not
only one
Hitler.
I know about was Don Johnson, from Miami Vice.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was I knew.
You know Mike Galsworthy.
Lady Lashur.
Oh,
the rapper.
You know Mike Galsworthy from the European movement.
Yeah.
I share a birthday with Mike.
Do you?
Yep. Yeah, we're birthday buddies. We're not custard cousins, but we are birthday buddies.
I'm just looking this up. Oh, Oscar Isaac. Oscar Isaac.
Oh,
That's gonna be good.
That's pretty cool.
Bobby Fischer.
He's a chess person, isn't he?
Lindsay Lohan.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
I love Lindsay Lohan. She's
We
in
should
all these
definitely have a
terrible
party.
Hallmark movies now.
Oh my God.
Well, she's gotta have a
Like
career.
Irish Wish. Has everyone watched that? Irish Wish.
Yeah. It's
Hey,
brilliant.
this is even better.
God.
Yuri
What's your birthday
Gagarin.
with?
Yuri Gagarin was born on the same.
First man in
Unless you know
space.
heavy metal, you don't know. I share
Maybe.
a birthday with Ronnie Radke. Do you guys know who he is?
No.
Right. Okay.
No.
It's a metal thing. Any of the metalheads in the chat?
I'm annoyed because I should know that because I am a metalhead.
Yes, Ronnie Radke is the singer of Falling in Reverse. Very controversial.
Oh,
I share a birthday with him.
I can picture it. Now,
Yeah. I share a birthday with Ronnie Radke. Oh my days. But yeah, everybody else on this list, I don't really know who they are.
No.
Helen Slater, Alex Cox, Adam Brody.
Speaking of metal, though, did we see that the lead singer of Disturbed signed a fucking missile to go?
Yes, yeah, he is very he's
Now-
been Zionist for a very long time.
Guys, explain this story. Come on, what
I'm
happened?
fucking done.
So
I-
the
go
lead
ahead.
singer of a band called Disturbed, he signed a rocket that was going to be fired into Gaza, an Israeli
Oh,
rocket. And he
jeez.
And
signed
I-
it.
love
Right.
him and adore him, and he did like such. I can't remember what the cover was now, but it was beautiful because
The
he's
Sound of
opera-
Silence.
Thank you,
From Garfunkel.
Scott, because it's. I feel like it's better than the original,
Yes.
and it was stunning. And I also
Yeah, but
saw.
he's a gobshite, and he's
Yes.
definitely an artist.
Now I'm like, you're a fucking prick.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
can't ever see any of his acts of kindness because he's always like picking out kids and doing all the things that you want, like a rock metal band. Like you're like a family. Like I've always gone to Download, and that's been like one of the best experiences of my life. Like super family, like Hellstorm, like really cool. Like if you fall over in the mud, people pick you up. Just super, super safe. Like not really druggy, just lovely.
Mm.
And then I saw that and I was like,
Yeah,
Well, he was
Oh.
booed. He was
he was booed. Yeah, he
quite
was.
badly at the Back to the Beginning show of the Ozzy
Was
Osbourne Black
he?
Sabbath show.
Yeah.
He was booed when he
Yeah.
showed up on
fucking
stage.
good though. Sorry, you're gonna be a prick
Yeah.
and sign that.
And he was he actually doubled down and did a whole video saying how terrible that people would boo about me and my
Did he do the whole like anti-Semitic thing?
and he was so close to it, but no, he didn't. He just still did this whole
Close enough, but-
politics. We all think differently.
She's not quite my birthday buddy, but Jennifer Love Hewitt was born a week before me, and there was a picture of her on the.
We're stretching this now a bit.
No, because there was a story this week about her that was in the
I've
news.
seen that.
Because she was at the premiere of I Know What You Did Last Summer, which is a remake
Yeah.
of I Know What You Did Last Summer from 1997, which I reviewed on the TV show Movie Watch. When I was on Movie Watch in 1997, I reviewed that film. Anyway, I think I gave it quite good marks, actually. And she looks gorgeous. She looks amazing. She looks fantastic. She's lovely and curvy and beautiful. And all these fucking trolls, and they've all got the same face and the same aviator sunglasses, in leaving all these horrific messages about her, and it's just like, what is wrong with people? Like, they can't accept that a 19-year-old movie star can become 46, and it's just like, oh my god, this is what the rich and famous have to put up with. Like, what hope is there for the rest of us?
What
She
was that?
looked stunning.
Jennifer
Like-
Love Hewitt.
Absolutely stunning.
She's beautiful.
Yeah.
A lot of those famous actresses from that time, the late 1990s and the early 20s, they all look exactly the same. I mean, have you seen
Jessica Parker.
No, the other one.
Sarah
Michelle Gellar.
Michelle Gellar. Yeah.
She doesn't age. Like, she's definitely drinking from a different fountain of water from the rest of us. 'Cause that is insane. Unreal. She looks insane. Yeah. Even like they're doing some Buffy stuff. Her and Allison Hannigan.
Yeah.
She hasn't aged today. It's quite crazy.
I like Alison Hannigan. She's
Well, she's very.
We all do. We
Yeah.
all.
Yeah,
But yeah, it is disgraceful the way that people think that it's okay to just be horrible on the internet, as horrible as they like, and they just
Staying, honestly, like, and it's always, for women especially, I've noticed it's a weight thing.
yeah.
So I've been a size 6. I'm 5'11". I looked fucking ill. So my job as a model, I'm now a plus size model. I'm nearly 5'11", and I'm like a UK 16. But
How is that plus size? That's like normal.
That's not plus size.
Yeah.
The
That's a normal.
average size
Is that Marilyn Monroe's size?
is 5'5" and a UK 16. So imagine 4 inches shorter.
Yeah.
But I am the plus size for the industry. So you're already getting a perceived fucked upness when you're shopping online, because also they want models to have like a really good ratio, because there's only certain sort of like body types that are acceptable, societally acceptable to be plus size. So I have bigger boobs, I still have a flat stomach, and I'm like chunkier on the bottom. So I have that like nice whatever, and I gained weight when I gained weight.
Turn me straight. Shut the fuck
In
up.
There's a first. There's
Oh,
a
it's
first
like,
for the
what
Friday
the
night
fuck?
social.
He's like,
It's
describe the perfect woman. Well, I got really big tits, a beautiful flat stomach,
No!
and a massive ass. I was just like,
But-
girl, you sound amazing.
No,
Oh my God.
no, I have no ass. Like mine's wide but flat. So why she lifts the weights, because like, please give me a bum. Like I need
Trust me, I'm doing it. I'm at the gym doing squats, killing myself, sweating on the ground.
the squats. It only builds the quad. The teardrops are peng. How the ass?
What's that?
Wide
What's
and
that?
wide
What's
and
that?
flat. Wide and flat.
What
the
is it?
Teardrop.
What's the
I-
teardrop?
So if you were to straighten your leg out
Uh-huh.
just above the knee on
Mm.
the right, say, so it's your right leg, straighten your leg out.
Yep.
And go tense just above the knee on the right hand side. That's a big part of your quad muscle.
Mhm.
That is in a teardrop formation. So mine have always been really pronounced because I'm very quad dominant when I'm training, and I'm a very avid weightlifter. So this is very important to me.
Mhm.
But getting my glutes engaged, because normally you're either quad dominant or you're glute dominant.
Yeah.
So before performing like big compound exercises, if you're quad dominant, you might need to activate your glutes by doing single leg sort of exercises to activate your glute muscles.
Lunges.
Graham, can I just ask, are they talking in that gay language we were
I
talking about
think
earlier?
so. I have no idea. I'm just sitting
'Cause
here
I don't
quietly. You know,
I don't understand
Whoa!
anything.
The
That's
fitness-
going
I'm
on.
just
just-
like I do lunges.
Okay.
We'll say that. Scott, you and me, we can.
we have a conversation to have between Skunk and Nancy and Smashing Pumpkins.
I made a
And
promise.
some demonstrations.
I made a promise to my lady friend that I would join a gym and start doing it if I got an all clear on the cancer. And now I'm obligated.
Oh no! See, you came out and you were like, "Yes, I don't have cancer anymore." But then you were like,
And
"Oh
she went,
shit,
here's
I
your
gotta go
gym
to the
membership.
I'm like, fuck.
So you
Join the
you
gym
need
weirdos.
a very simple 3-day split. That's what you need.
A 3-way split.
Or a 4-day split. So you need
Okay.
2 upper body sessions and 2 lower body sessions.
Or
Okay,
you
and then I'm
can-
done.
Push.
What's this got to do with going to the gym?
Don't ever have to go again after that. That's great. I can do a week.
Yeah.
I
Not
do
a
a
problem.
3-day split during the week. So I do a pull, a leg, and a push. Or no,
Perfect.
sorry, a push,
Perfect.
leg, and pull.
But
So
does the leg include the buttocks? Because that's also important.
well, this is what I'm doing. So
See-
I'm using the leg press. I'm using the rack to
Okay.
squat, and
Are we adjusting the feet on the leg press
God.
to do both quads and then also your glutes? Because
Now-
Yes.
leg positioning will make a difference.
Yes.
Now I feel like I
I'm also
want
doing,
Hannah's
like,
approval
small-
as well. So
Yeah.
next week I'm going to come in and tell you what my exercise regime was, basically.
So
We'll give you
boyfriend
one.
is the next bodybuilder.
We'll give you one.
Like brother has a degree in sports science exercise. Very, very nerdy about weightlifting, especially for women, because a lot of women are like, oh my God, I'll get too bulky. No, you'll just be strong and healthy. And also it saves off osteoporosis. Because weight bearing exercise is really good for bone density, and that's really common once you get after about 40, 45. That's the danger zone. So if
Well,
you
once I get to that age, I'll
Yeah.
start worrying about my bone.
As a
density.
woman, once you get to that age, you're
Yeah.
fucked, mate. What if you are that age, Han? Can you do stuff if you are that age, or if you left it too late?
100%.
If it hasn't, the
you can
osteoporosis.
you can start with a can of beans, because the whole thing is about progressive, we call it progressive overload. So you start with a can of beans and then you go to 2 kilos. And then after you've done a few weeks of like, I can do 8 to 10 reps for 3 sets, you go to 4 kilos. And then it progresses from that point. And this is all really healthy for your bone density. It's really healthy for your mind. It's also very empowering as a woman to know that I can move that fucking sideboard if my man's not around. That's really nice.
Seems fair.
I can push a car by myself.
All right, Hulk.
She-Hulk.
Hulk smash. Lift the car up and throw it at him.
Yeah, not
I'd love
lift,
to see that.
no,
I do
we're
too.
not lifting the car. We can push the
We're
car.
pushing it lightly.
Our quads. We're using our
When,
muscle quads.
when Hannah's boyfriend gets home and she's holding the sideboard over her head, angrily looking at him, it's like,
This is called gradual overload.
All right. Well, listen, it's past half midnight now, so we better start thinking about, calling it a night. I'm sure everyone's pretty tired.
Yeah. I'm
Scott.
not sure if I'm going to go to the barbershop tomorrow. We'll see. Because it's supposed to piss down with rain tomorrow, and I'm not going out in the rain if it's pissing down.
Are you like the Wicked Witch of the West? Will you melt?
I will melt.
I'm melting.
And also, I drive a scooter, remember? So when it
Yeah,
rains, I get wet.
Jackpot wants to know if Hannah will be on Gladiators soon.
I would fucking love to do that.
I would fucking love to see you on Gladiators.
You know what I want to see you do? I want to see you do like Takeshi's Castle.
I'm
Yes! Or Ninja Warrior UK.
So cool if you did like
I'm
Takeshi's
so
Castle.
competitive. It's not even funny though.
Or the
Oh, God.
Ultimate Beastmaster.
But I feel like you need a lot of upper body strength, and
Yeah, it's the Ultimate
Oh.
Beastmaster thing. They got you doing
my
shit
bench
like that.
press right now is only 40 kgs. So
Only. She says
Just to-
only. I'm literally squatting 30 kg. and
but
I'm
it is
dying.
free weight.
She's lifting.
just
that.
to bring this into this week's news agenda, I'd like to see you on MasterChef with Greg Wallace.
What, kick his
I
ass?
would
kick his fucking ass, basically.
Please give me a chance.
I'm surprised that, when he walked around naked, that no one took one of the knives from the kitchen and said, put it away. I'll cut the fucking thing off, put it away.
That is emblematic, though, of the BBC just being absolutely fucking useless about pursuing male predators. And I've just had an idea, Hannah. You know the way that these manosphere influencers get boys into the toxic manosphere by getting them to improve their bodies and getting them to go to the gym and work out and everything. You could do the same for women.
There you go.
But it could all be about intersectionality and being a big.
You could be
liberal
the Andrew
lefty.
Tate of the left.
Yes.
Basically, for women.
For women.
Unlike that
empowering
one
women.
influencer who opened up her female-only gym and then decided that she was going to have trans people, and now she's not going to have trans people.
Just not. Suddenly, I don't want trans women in there.
Yeah, I don't. Stupid bitch. And she charges £150 a month.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
I didn't know what it was.
It was It's £150 a month.
It's in
just to work out on pink.
So it's going to be
machines.
60, 65, understandable. 150
to go to a gym without a spa? Fuck off.
No, fuck off.
Did anyone see the women only bar, the lesbian women only bar that ended up being a couple of chairs on the pavement because they weren't allowed to get a license to open up a bar that discriminated against trans women? It was going to be a cisgender women only lesbian
it
bar.
was in the East End, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it ended up just being
literally
a lemonade stand on the pavement.
Is this
It didn't last
actually
long.
a thing? Like, you're literally only allowed in now if you're a cisgender woman?
No, it was a bar that was opening up to do that.
And they couldn't actually get a physical location for it, so they ended up, it was like 3 clocky looking turfs on the fucking sidewalk, just
Idiots.
handing out lemonades.
It was virtue signaling. It was, oh, we're gonna open a lesbian bar. No trans girls can come in. It was very that.
Sorry. I'll say it, and I'll say it every single fucking time I'm here. If you are trans exclusionary radical feminist, you are not a fucking feminist.
You're not a feminist.
Because you have to include trans women. And you have to include POC. All of our experiences are vastly different.
But intrinsically linked.
Yeah. Intrinsically linked. All of these things hold up problems. You must be inclusional.
Yeah.
There's no other way to be a feminist. It has to be intersectional. That is the only fucking way to do it properly. Because otherwise, you're as bad as the rest of them. Sorry.
Thanks for coming on and saying this, because if we say it as blokes, everyone just goes, "Oh, shut up, blokes! You got to do it, you."
I literally said that.
Yeah,
you did say that
earlier this evening. So thank you, Hannah.
But it's nice to hear a woman say it.
In fact, you said that line, and Hannah magically appeared on the screen. So you have power, Scott.
Scott, you have powers.
It's my fairy power. I wave my little fairy wand.
We keep you in our lives because you're good men that support women's rights, and you do it in the right way. And that
who is this guy that keeps appearing?
Wait, he's got the milk.
Fucking milkman.
Got milk.
Aye.
Look at the proper fucking milk bottles as well. Not this plastic shit.
I've got to say, Wayne, you are the sexiest looking milkman in the world, mate. That's you win a prize.
I'll take that.
I'll blow you for a pint of milk,
I've even got my own lighting as well.
Oh, fantastic!
He's built a studio in the back of the milk bar.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting outside it.
He's delivering his milk.
Yeah.
But Wayne, we were just about to
the housewives of Essex.
Were you watching, Wayne? Because we were just about to sign off. Were you watching and thought you'd come back on?
No, that's literally what I pulled over, because I thought if you was going to chip off, let me just chuck my 2 pennies worth in, because we went into gym chat for a little while, didn't we?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh God.
Yeah. So
Mike, do you want to grab a cuppa?
Yeah, we'll just,
Oh no, Mike's got to stay here for this because Mike's the one who's now got to get in the gym.
I'm obliged.
I don't.
So this time next week, Mike, I expect you to be buff as fuck.
Okay.
It doesn't really work like that, but yeah, that's
Yeah.
the
I mean, if it happens in a week, Wayne, then I'm good for this.
Beefcake.
Scott, you got to remember, this geezer just cured cancer.
Yeah,
right.
He did.
He can do
Single-handedly.
6-pack in a week, nothing.
no problem.
Yeah.
Being able to sit on a chair for more than half an hour, that would be good at the moment.
Oh, you poor thing.
Yeah,
We'll get there.
I'm back in the gym because I'm starting to get the old dad bod, which is actually quite grim.
Dad bods are sexy.
Fuck off. Dad bods are fucking sexy. Aren't they?
Okay,
Aren't
yeah,
they,
so-
Scott?
Says the geezer who's got a dad bod.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Can I
Just want to say,
And a very hot
can I
girlfriend.
just put?
As a
Can I put a
woman-
word in? Can I put a word in for granddad bods? Is that okay?
Yeah.
No.
Do it.
Just I've
Hannah?
got one.
as a woman who's attracted to men, mostly squiffy, but mostly, the dad bod is not a bad thing.
Woohoo.
Like, if I'm dating someone that's like Greek god status, I'm quite squishy. Do you know what I mean? Like, and the squishy is nice, and all the boys are like, "Oh, we love the squishy. Like, we love the boob. Everyone loves a boob. Who
Everyone
doesn't
loves
love?"
boobs. Even gay men love boobs, don't they?
Nah,
Scott, come on. Go on. Admit you love boobs.
I'm built different.
All the blokes are like, "Oh my god, dad bod. Dad bod is not bad. Dad bod is cuddly,
I love a
nice,
dad bod.
friendly, green flag, lovely."
Cuddly.
Hannah,
yummy.
I'm suddenly enjoying this gym conversation.
Wait, sorry.
We're talking about boobs and
conversation.
cuddling. Mike's like,
Sorry.
yes.
Like, I'm dating a man, so 7 years together. He's 50 now, so he's an ex-bodybuilder. If I'd have met him when he looked like that, scary. Sorry, don't like. Don't like.
There you go. There you go.
You want a little bit of something.
But
Little,
the problem is Wayne.
oh, you
lives
can eat with me. A little bit of,
Yeah. Wayne lives
there.
in
I love-
Essex, and they expect
It's
something different.
very impressive.
There.
Admirable. However, if you look like a Greek god all the time and you've got 3% body fat, I know categorically that's not healthy all the time to maintain. And also, everyone loves a dad bod. They want to feel safe. They want to be cuddled. Women want to be loved. And it's about like how funny and like cute and nice you are.
I'm really liking this
Just
conversation
right-
now. I'm glad to stay.
Yeah, I'm writing this.
feeling slightly
I'm writing this
reassured.
down for my next Bumble post. But
Mike's trying to get.
I will write your Bumble post, Mike. I will write
Yeah.
your
I am cuddly and nice
I'm-
and safe.
I'm currently off Bumble, which is a good thing. That's
That is fantastic news. Well done.
yeah.
Congratulations.
You're proper seeing her now.
In fact, for the first time in a year, because I've been on this thing for this podcast for a year, I actually went out on a Friday night, and then Graham says, "But you're going to still be on the podcast, aren't you?" And I went, "Yeah, I'm going out for dinner early." Graham.
Oh, thank you for
Because I
doing
love
this,
you.
Mike. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
Hey, man, she's
Don't
She's
get
very
Michael
understanding.
involved. Don't fucking work.
Oh, we love you, Mike.
But yeah, it is a nice feeling when you're in a relationship after being on the dating apps for a long time to delete
God.
Tinder or
Yeah,
Bumble
definitely.
or whatever you want, Grinder.
Don't even know what that is.
Grinder. It's like Grinder, but for straights.
Oh, a Tinder. No, there's plenty of gays on Grinder. On Tinder.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Oh, that's true.
No, but there are loads of those. I don't do that Bumble stuff. The Tinder gays like to think that they're a little bit more special, a little bit more bougie. And really, at the end of the day, once you match them and they start messaging you, they start saying the same shit.
So Scott, you do bum stuff, but not Bumble stuff. That's what
Oh,
you say.
Jesus.
haha. Oof.
Yes, you are right.
Okay, listen.
Turned into a carry-on show. All
It's
been a
sudden.
What do you mean? It's
It
always been a carry-on show.
Started as a carry-on show.
Oh, do you know what I always thought about Carry On was they always did like the two extremes. You had the really misogynistic, sexist gits like Sid James, and then the ridiculously camp over the top effeminate men.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
Yeah, we like to have a bit
that
of
was
both.
the humor of it, though. Let's laugh at women gays.
That's it. James had the best laugh, the best dirty laugh. Yeah. Anyway, right, we're gonna have to get going because I really need to go to bed. It is 1:45 midnight almost. So
Yeah, and I've got all this to
go
do.
deliver your milk, Wayne. I just want to say
Deliver that
a
cream to the housewives
huge
of
thank you to Scott and to Hannah and to Wayne, and just thank you and congratulations to Mike. We love you, Mike, and we're so chuffed that it's all worked out after all that shit that you've had to go through. You came out at the other end. You're like, Andy Dufresne from fucking Shawshank.
Mike, it's all
Well,
downhill
you guys-
from here, sunshine.
I
know.
Way through a
You,
gallon of
you guys honestly know I've said this before, but you have been a rock in my week every week for a year, and
sweet.
the whole journey that I've gone through. I hate the word journey, but the cancer treatment that I've gone through, I have always turned up on a Friday for you guys because you make me feel good about myself. So thank you.
You should
that
feel
goes for
good about
everyone in the
yourself
chat.
because you're fucking awesome.
And all the messages I got from people in the chat and from Facebook and everything this week have been just amazing. It's just been a lovely.
We love you.
We love you.
We love you, man.
And
Can you
right.
just clip that and then edit it with "Never Had a Dream Come True" by S Club playing underneath it, like X Factor.
Well, listen, thanks very much for watching. Thank you for the wonderful messages and messages of support, especially for Mike. And thanks for the super chats, obviously. If you want to give us a like on the way out, that would be awesome. I'll be back on Sunday morning with Morning Brew at 9 o'clock. But until then, from me and the team here, hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye. Bye.
Cheerio.